like a pretty girl, but I cannot say her name. And we are live! Hi, everybody! You may not hear Neri for a second because they are having to restart their Discord. They're having problems with it. But lolly ho, Jellybean! Ray, good to glad to have you as always. Thank you for your help. It is greatly appreciated. Doing good, just doing some picking up around the house, making apple butter in the pressure cooker. Ooh, nice. I have been cleaning up my space as well, getting ready for a guest, and that's exciting. Pretty curious about the rewards this year. Busy prepping for video games come with all the Saints Wake. Yes, we've got the cookie eating emote that's coming out. Yeah. How they fit into the theme, the story for the year. Yeah. How does cookies do? Are we trick or treating for cookies? Demins, lolly ho. Lolly totally forgot it was Thursday ho. Yeah, no worries. I mean, look, we're on Thursday. It's a weird day for us. You know, we're earlier in the morning. I always know that these are more of a low key chill stream, so no worries whatsoever. I see. Yes, I'm curious about the story too. Kirlea, good to see you, glad to have you. Scarlet, good to see you, glad to have you. And Sarah, good to see you, glad to have you. Will the Continental Circles be attempting to bring out the Night of Delivery again? Probably. I think Ray may have spent some time working on the All Saints Wake video. Just a thought. Let's get Neri called up. Hello?
Hello.
There we go. Awesome.
My Discord is being super weird tonight.
All good. Well, I mean, if it continues to be so, we'll work with that. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm not too bad.
Good.
I got very frustrated at my job today, so I applied for a bunch of jobs and got an interview straight away. So that's nice.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's nice that they're, like, okay, I'm done with this shit, and the world's like, yes, well, okay, then let's change that up.
Yeah, exactly, right? Corporate ruins everything.
Oh, I was wondering if it was going to be the kids, but no, corporate.
No, it's never the kids. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some kids. There sure are some kids. But it's usually corporate or the parents.
Yep. Would you like to tell our audience what we did last time and where we're at?
Oh, okay. So, so the exact chronology of the beginning escapes me somewhat, and did at the time as well. But we were caught up in the crushing of a resistance movement that brutally murdered what appears to be several of our friends, as well as a great deal of the resistance. But they're still alive. They're still out there, and we've joined them. And after sneaking in to try and save our friend and failing, but we found a prince of some kingdom. And now we're just working for the resistance and collecting words, which is a mechanic.
Yes, and kind of against their wishes, though, because originally they were like, no, you're too young, don't join us. And we were like, we saw Star Wars, we know what Luke was capable of, and so we're venturing off to go do our own stuff.
So now we're 17-year-olds, but we're child soldiers.
The amount of times that there are child soldiers in Final Fantasy video games is more often than not.
That's true.
Okay, not one. At least I can't think of an example in one. 2, 3, arguably.
Yeah, well, you're not really fighting for a nation, but...
Yeah, that's true. But, like, 4, you got Palom Palorum, so, like, there's definitely 4.
And Rydia, kind of.
Yeah. 5, I can't think specifically of.
No, you don't really fight for a nation in 5.
6, I can't think of specific examples, but I feel like there's gotta be somewhere in there.
Oh, Terra is a child soldier.
There you go. Yeah. 7, I mean... How old was Cloud when he joined Shinra?
I think he's supposed to be, at least like 18.
Yeah.
That seems right to me.
I mean, but you played Crisis Core. You saw that young boy. You saw the dreams in his eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
to go to war.
Even though I'm only 25, like, an 18-year-old is like a child to me now.
It's true. Oh my god, it's so true. I was having a conversation with someone else recently. 8, I mean, they're all fucking child soldiers.
Yeah.
Straight up. 9, I mean, Vivi's, did kind of, yeah. I mean, I guess the Zane's isn't a child soldier, but he's a child rebel.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the soldiers in Alexandria sort of come off as childish as well.
Very much so. Well, and
and the Black Mages are child soldiers.
I mean, you think about, like, literally, only, cognizant for, very limited, finite period of time.
Right. 10?
I mean, there's some young Al Bhed, right? Like, fighting. And then you also have... I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, you have, what's his face? Pazu? Or the guy who joins in Operation Mihen. He's definitely... There's no way that kid's an adult. That guy, that's a kid. That's a kid's a kid.
True.
So the Crusaders definitely got some. 11 can't speak to. 12, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
13.
Child militia.
Yeah. 14,
which I think counts.
Yeah, I definitely agree that counts.
14.
There are definitely examples of 14. How old is Euless? Euless is technically an adult, but like...
I kind of don't buy that Fordola was an adult when she joined up.
She wasn't. She definitely wasn't. Because she would have been 7. Well, I'm trying to think about the story, the Endwalker story that we get for her.
They're like explicitly portrayed as older teenagers in that story, I feel.
Yeah. And especially if you check out the chronology of it. Because like she's 19 at the time of Stormblood, and the point at which Yida would have passed would have been... Actually, let me get my E one.
Anyway, Type 0 is also all about child soldiers.
Yeah, but Type 0 is also a bad game.
True.
No, but yeah, I feel like if anyone likes Type 0, that's another game I want to revisit and see if I can like meet more halfway. But when I played it, I was so put off by its like, it had such great ideas and such terrible execution.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think is it 62? No, it wouldn't be 62. It would be... It's not 72, though. The Archons... 71. Infiltrate and attempt to assist enemies. You guys but many lives. Yeah, 71. So, she would have been 13 with the whole Yida incident happened. So she would have either had to have been... Like, when she joined up, it depends if she joined up during or before or after the Calamity. So she would have either been, like, 14... or if it was a couple years into the Calamity, somewhere in there. But yeah, at the absolute oldest, she'd be 19, and it seems she's been part of the Skulls for a while.
Yeah.
Exes of Shinra. Yeah. Also, eventually we'll play Final Fantasy 2, rather than talking about...
Yeah, there will come a time.
Yeah. 5 is Kryl. Yeah, I guess I was thinking, like, does Kryl count as a child soldier, though? Or rather, like... like, is there a difference between a kid who is going on a quest and an adventure, and having to fight, versus a child soldier?
Because every single game has many child soldiers, if we're defining it as that.
Right. I mean, Ash Ketchum is a child soldier almost at the point.
Right. Yeah.
Extremely TF2 heavy voice. Entire team is at base! Aiko counts. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you fight for several nations in 9, so I could just kind of count.
Mm-hmm. Aurora, good to see you. Glad to have you. Yeah. So shall we get going? Are you going to be my pilot for today?
I'll do my very best. I'm trying to figure out where exactly we are. What's this town?
This is the town of...
Salamand, maybe?
Salamand, yeah, it is. It is Salamand.
Oh, that's right. They wouldn't tell us where Yosef is.
Right, we found Yosef, and Yosef sent us to do what?
So we have to go to... we have to go to rescue people in Summit Falls.
Okay, where is Summit Falls?
Summit Falls is west of Salamand.
Okay. This direction?
That seems like west to me.
One would hope I know my directions by now. I also definitely may have done some...
grinding. I see this to be true. In the fact that I have more health now.
I find it so funny that, like, I love this system so much more for leveling, when arguably in some ways it's a more grindy system. Like,
yeah.
And it's, but I don't know, there's something about it where I just enjoy seeing those bars go up a lot more than just a stat bar, like, and also it feels like, what part of it is? I think part of it is that at any time, any enemy feels like it's progress, whereas if it's XP, low amounts of XP don't matter that much. Whereas like filling up each and every bar because of different, you can use any magics or having to casting cures or like all these different routes and avenues of getting progression. make it more
Right.
rewarding for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. There's something very satisfying to watching these numbers go up.
Mhm.
These specific numbers.
Well,
I don't know, I
level
think
up
it-
spells, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it gives you like more of an insight into the fantasy of it. Like you can almost see like your character becoming more deft with a sword in your mind's eye or something.
Yeah.
Whereas I think XP is so abstracted.
Yep. It's just very interesting because I was even looking at forums and it seems like broadly still a lot of people hold that 2 is system. Like I saw a lot of criticism of 2, but I didn't see a lot of criticism of 1, which was fascinating to me. It's not like they're that far apart in terms of release, and yet I feel like 2 is such a much more interesting, not even just interesting, just fuller game.
Advanced, certainly, right? Like,
Yeah.
No, I definitely think 1 gets a lot of like a safe pass for being seminal, I suppose, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sandland Falls. To get the head west until you reach a small river.
Yeah,
Okay,
with the
so we need to
canoe.
get to a river and then get in the canoe, yeah.
Yeah.
And then follow the river. That looks right to me. I still think that Firion is one of the more interestingly designed PCs in Final Fantasy.
I'm sorry, which one?
Firion.
Ah, yes.
Elia.
Yeah, it's interesting. He, I feel like him and, like, Terra and some of the other ones, like, look more like a mono art put into a game without care for making sure that they don't clash.
I think it
sounds more
works.
critical than I mean.
At least it works
Yeah.
with Terra, like Firion really does look very different. But I also think his design slaps, so there's that.
Yeah.
Semit Falls.
Similar case to Zelda 1, Zelda 2, in my opinion. Yeah, that's interesting, Scarlet. I guess I would say when I look at Zelda 1, though, I see Zelda 1 isn't like... I can play Zelda 1, and I can see the lineage of it to link to, like, to something like Link to the Past in a way where I, like, can still enjoy, not just appreciate, but enjoy Zelda 1. And Zelda 2, I find, is, like, much more frustrating because of its leveling system rather than its leveling system feeling like active progression. So like, while I get your point, I feel like the level to which I'm annoyed by Zelda 2 is more applicable to Final Fantasy 1, and the level to which I can enjoy rather than just appreciate from Zelda 1 is more applicable to Final Fantasy 2 for me.
Oh, I think that's fair. I haven't played. Apparently, we need USF to use that. Apparently, we haven't played. No, sorry, I haven't played Zelda 2. I played Zelda 1.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating mess. I cannot recommend, if you like Zelda at all, I cannot recommend playing it enough, but don't go in expecting to enjoy playing a game.
Right.
Which is very much damning, but...
Yeah, I got my first experience with Zelda 1 and also with the original Mario in back when those games used to exist as flash games on the internet.
Yeah.
Like maybe Newgrounds. I don't think Newgrounds actually. I think Newgrounds wouldn't host that, but there were. It was a
Same
website.
era.
Yeah, definitely that vibe. Man, how much of the internet nowadays can we thank? Like internet culture, can we thank for Newgrounds?
A non-small amount, especially when you think about the amount of people who are content creators now who either got their start on Newgrounds or like Flash in general was responsible for their like launch point in some way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
Oni
Flash.
Plays definitely is probably the flagship of that, right? And well, in Game Grumps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more that I'm not even thinking of. I mean, like, even there's other content creators too. Like, you think about things like Ed's World, and though Ed Gould
true.
may be gone, the people surrounding that, like Tom Scott.
Right. For some reason, your audio is quite quiet on my end. I don't know if it's the same for people on stream.
No, I think it's because I turned it down because I was recording sad music for someone.
Okay.
I was cleaning my studio, and I found my ukulele, so I started playing Leaves from the Vine from Avatar.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, Avatar. Atla is so good. I like Korra as well, but Atla is so good.
I love both. Korra is way more uneven. Like the thing about Korra is Korra's like flawed in a lot of places deeply, but it has some fucking high highs, and even when it has lows, like there are interesting things they're going for.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Atlas levels I would say are boring, but it's more consistently high.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. You monster. Sorry, dude. Sorry, Bean. Hey, at least I'm not playing it for you guys. That said, I do have a recording of it here, so I could just go ahead and like toss it up on it. I have a weapon, and you can see it on screen. Hunter, good to see you. Glad to have you.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Hunter. Man, the fucking. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. I think we're allowed to curse on this stream. We have been.
I think by now you think that'd be. I think as you were willing to be drunk and talk about dicks and mouths, but like no, let us draw the
yeah.
line
Okay.
there.
Bad dudes. You got me there. No, it's because I've been teaching all day.
Yeah, headspace.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, the new House of the Dragon episode drove me completely feral, unsurprisingly to anyone who watches these streams.
It was very good. And the meme you sent me after the episode 7 made me.
Ah man, Paddy has done such a good job on Viserys.
He really has, and I mean like. It's one of those things where George R. R. Martin sending him a text where he's like, not just like, oh, I like your Viserys, whatever, but it's like yours is the better version.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you like ever read Martin's blog, but like in his most recent blog, he was talking about he's like, part of me genuinely wants to go back, rip up all the pages I wrote with him, and rewrite it with his version in mind.
He did such a good job with it, especially with his stuff with Emma.
So good. Yeah.
So good. I mean, the show's version of Alicent is also hugely better than the books.
Oh yeah, I think not universally, but I mean pretty broadly, every character I can think of is either matched or improved.
Yeah, Fire and Blood is very dry. It's it's written from the perspectives of two historians and then also a court jester, which has its own quirks. But it's quite a dry book actually. It's not hugely entertaining, I wouldn't say.
No, and in a way though, I think ultimately they're the better companions for each other because of that, though. It's not like two narratives juxtaposed against each other. I mean, it is two narratives juxtaposed against each other, but it is two very different. Yeah, you know what I mean. No,
I know what you mean. I definitely do. But yeah, I love Alicent in the show, but she's kind of just an evil lady in the books.
Yeah. And, oh my God.
Do you want to know which of these to go through? Oh, no, we're going through.
We're gonna learn the lessons the hard way.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I love that these Final Fantasy plays have become our time to express our thoughts about. I mean that the wonder of the show, right, is even if you like fucking hate the Greens, which you probably should, but even if you do, your heart does go out for many of them.
Yeah, I mean Helena, absolutely. I think everyone's gonna be Helena, but. I think Alicent has a lot to be sympathetic about. It's gonna start too long in conversation if I get into that. But
hey, we got some time.
We do got some time. But man, I kind of think that the storyline of 2, like, has the bones of a really good narrative, like in a modern game, if it was to be remade.
It's sad that
it's Star Wars, right? This game is Star Wars.
Well, but which game is more Star Wars? And anyone who's played these games, played 2 and 12, I want to know which one is more Star Wars, because 2 or 12. Because there's a lot of ways in 12 is just Shakespeare does Star Wars a little bit, but through the lens of Japan.
Yeah.
You think about like Vaughn and Pinello as your Luke
that
analogs.
seems like a Freudian slip.
Yeah, you've got your Ash as your Leia, you have your Balthier and Fran as your Han and Chewie.
Yeah,
you've got
big Han and Chewie, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of ways in which it parallels fascinatingly. Depends on which version of 2 we're talking. Well, is the narrative that different between like the original Pixel Relaxer versus the
Yeah, except for the addition of Hell, right? No, of Heaven, sorry.
It's the same. Fran is the best looking Wookiee, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Demins. I think everyone on Earth would agree with you, and probably everyone on Kashyyyk as well.
You just drop Fran. Okay, now I want to see the version of Star Wars that's Kashyyyk, but you just drop a bunch of Vieira on it. Emperor of Heaven is such a good boss design, in my opinion. I'd have to. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's a really good boss design. Looks awesome.
Ooh, that is.
It really channels Amano.
It really does. You know what else? It does. It harkens back. I mean, not just back, but forward to also a lot of the ideas you see in things like Sephiroth's angelic form. Yeah, like a lot of, or Sophia as she exists in 6, or like a lot of those different. It's not even just angelic, but pseudo-angelic ideas. So. Yeah,
I wonder if perhaps maybe Amano grew up in a Christian household.
I don't know. I would also wonder if you grew up in any way around Japanese Christianity in general, just because, that's going to affect your viewpoint. Just because, like, Japanese Christianity can be...
I'd be exceptionally surprised if he grew up Catholic, right, in Japan. I mean, I know that there are Catholics in Japan, but I would be surprised. It just seems unlikely, but...
Definitely statistically unlikely.
Right, but his art style definitely draws upon maybe Catholic and maybe even Eastern Orthodox imagery as well.
I personally am a practitioner of Ether Orthodox, so thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well that'll that'll chase all your problems away for sure.
Oh, yep, obviously. I mean, you could do the Kingdom Hearts now since Disney owns Star Wars.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a Star Wars character in next Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I mean, honestly, seeing as, like, if you think about the fact that they're going for almost pseudo-live action with fucking Sora being in New York and just basically wanting... Him just never getting... Oh my god, Nomura, get over it! 50 versus 13 didn't happen. The game you were going to make didn't happen. Let go of it. Stop making Noctis 2 with Yozora. Stop turning Kingdom Hearts into the game you wanted 15 to be.
Yeah, he's... I mean, say what you will about Nomura, but the guy sticks to his guns.
He does. I do love that there's a great interview with about Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they're talking about like the crazy ideas and stuff that they went through with.
Yeah.
And it turns out like everyone was like, yeah, everyone thought it was Nomura. I was like, no, Nomura was the one arguing with everyone to say like, no, we should make it as close to the original as possible. He was the main person on staff actually trying to keep it the most conservative as it could be.
Yeah, but I think that's interesting because like, there was this whole idea of Nomura as going to be the one who makes it crazy, but people don't realize that Nomura was a big part of 7, right? Like originally.
Yep.
I guess it's not, everyone thinks of Nomura and they think of Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah, I feel like there's two typical things that you find. You either find people who think Kingdom Hearts, or / Final Fantasy 15 maybe, or his concept art. I mean, so like belts, like / thinking about belts, right?
Which goes back to Kingdom Hearts and Vincent, of course.
Yeah. I will say he did all the concept art for the characters for 10, and like even it's just gorgeous.
There are many belts in 10 though.
I mean, Lulu. I mean, I feel like Lulu is I don't want to say peak Nomura because holy shit has that man done like even more belts, but like Lulu's kind of peak Nomura.
Yeah, Lulu is very much Nomura. I think Seymour has quite a few belts as well, doesn't he?
Depends on which form.
Yeah, true. I mean, Anima has many belts, if you call those belts.
Yeah, aren't we all bound by the belts of Oblivion?
Yeah. I mean, say what you will, Scarlet, but I spent many years role-playing as members of Organization 13 online, so... Mostly Demics.
I was about to say, but which one? Okay, Dance Water Dance indeed.
Yeah. And I had my own... I had certain people that I played with, and of course I had my own Axel as a Demix.
We will get back to this conversation in one moment, but first, a message from our sponsors. Help us, please! Help us, please! Okay, this is getting old.
Yeah. Who the hell are these guys? Paul!
Elio! Yes, Paul. Elio, it's you. I'm ever glad you're here. This is Yosef's daughter, Nellie. I think that dastardly Borgen's been holding her hostage to threaten Yosef. Princess Hilda told you to bring her back some mithril, right? Well, that's normally where I step in. I figured out this was where the mithril was coming from easy enough. So I thought I'd get and jump on you guys and nab the mithril before you could get here. I only messed up and got caught. Me of all people.
Who is this guy?
I know! Well, I know when I'm in over my head. So long, but don't worry. I'll take everyone here with me. Ah, I see we found the Emmanuelane of Final Fantasy II. Thanks for saving us. I owe you.
Man, I feel like being a Xigbar stand says a lot about you, Scarlet.
Okay, wait, now I need to read people. Okay. I mean, you could do about to steal the mandate of heaven from the Emperor of Heaven. God, I hope Sora is an awkward in New York Kingdom Hearts as Mario was in the New Dog City. There's a good chance. Speaking of Noctis, I finished 15 last night, and it's just mid, in my opinion. Yeah, I think 15 is just one of those Final Fantasy games that's deeply flawed, but has a lot to potentially like, and honestly, all my umbrage with it comes from underutilized potential rather than...
Well, yeah, I think the most likable things about 15 are the things that it doesn't lean into, especially in its later stuff.
Yeah. Well, and like, I think the one unmitigated success is the bros. Like, that is the one place that... Yeah.
And even then, to get some of the context of those, you need to watch an anime.
Watch an anime, and to an extent, Kingslave can help, and just, that's all. Transmedia around 15 is like peak bad use of transmedia, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think of its crazy stories and stellar monster designs. Yeah. In addition to peak Nomura, Lulu is peak goth white. That's true. Oh, Remy, thanks for the $5. That will go. Oh, actually, I should have brought this up. So, okay, currently we have it set so it says that we're going to do a raffle for EE1 and EE2. I still want to do that, and we may just go ahead and buy that apropos of our money, and I'll use Patreon money to that. But what I would like to change for our funding reward is there is someone on Etsy who makes... Etsy FFX figs makes custom figs of people's Final Fantasy 14 characters, and they are amazing. And I want to get a set of all of the members of T. Let me see if I can pull it, because they're freaking phenomenal. They like really are. And
I still
there's
keep
multiple
looking at the VTuber maker, the person who makes FF models.
We gotta get you. We gotta do that one too. But so you just basically you send a picture of your character, and for about $100. You get a custom one of these, and they're just lovely. And I do really want like a little cute Elio in the background.
Do you remember when WoW did that and it was garbage?
Look, not to jump on a bandwagon for this, but like, isn't that kind of the usual rolling of the dice with them?
Yeah, true. There's a new lawsuit out for Blizzard, and it's just bringing up even more worse stuff. Like,
I've been paying attention. Bad. How did I miss this one?
Oh god, it's stuff like revenge porn stuff. And I'm just like, oh, Blizzard, how did you go so wrong? You had everything.
Yes, well, they had the love, but they did not have. Well, they had a certain amount of money, but they wanted more. Like literally, greed is the answer. So, like, usually it's never so simple. In this case, it pretty much is greed systematically dismantling the company.
Yeah, that's true.
Power, it's good to see you. Glad to have you. It's been a while. Got about half an hour right now before I have to leave as my law school classes are on fall break. Just letting you know I'm not dead. Yeah, we're glad to have you pop in. Always thinking about like even when you guys aren't around, you are not far from my mind. I'm gonna try to catch up real quick. Since this is YouTube, we're contractually obligated to like, share, subscribe, comment, and join. Thank you, Ray Ray. I'm more of a Xigbar guy. Okay, but like Xigbar does have a personality. I'm not saying Xigbar isn't a dick, but like, I don't know why, but I have something for Syx. I've always liked him.
Oh wait, sorry, which one's Syx?
Blue hair, Issa's, Axel's friend, giant meat, like huge, not quite mace, but like sword thing. The guy obsessed with the moon, X scar on his face.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? I didn't meet many fans. Many fans.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something I always liked about his quiet intensity that I appreciate. It's not like I don't even say he's my number one, but I've always appreciated him, and I have not met many people who are like, oh yeah, I really love him.
Yeah.
The most fun I had in 15 was the Arden DLC. I mean, look, I think I would have a better opinion too of 15 if it had actually stuck to its guns and like finished out all of its DLCs and we had gotten the alternate ending that they were going to allow for. Because having read the alternate ending, I don't think that the alternate ending in and of itself is better. I think it's way more anime in some ways, but I think for the story that got told in 15, it is better because the tragedy of the ending of 15 just falls flat for me because of the rest of the game surrounding it. Doesn't earn it. Hops in the regalia, Blair's sky smiling down on me loop. Demins, you keep making that joke. Where I need a... Arden is a successful villain because you both want to love and hate him. But here's the thing. I feel like Arden, really in a lot of ways, is what if we did Emmett South poorly? Am I wrong?
No,
get
not entirely wrong. There are certain links. I think the first thing I thought was when that was mentioned was like Emmett South. I don't think the two I don't think he holds a candle from it, but I kind of see the comparison.
Well, because think about it, right? Both charismatic villains that, on their face seem to be somewhat chaotic and full of machinations, but also somewhat helpful. And then you also contend with the fact that both are represented by having sincere and somewhat arguably for at least from their perspective, justifiable motives.
Yeah.
Just like... I don't mean to be like, oh, he's just Emmett. Obviously that's reductive. But I do think genuinely there's something to say that it's, and I don't even think it's like Arden as a character fully is poorly executed. I think the explanation for him, the motivations for him, the surrounding narrative of making him included in a fundamental part of what's going on instead of just randomly popping up 2 or 3 times and then being like, oh, yep, main villain.
Right.
And now if you played the Arden DLC, that helps a bunch. But it took the DLC just to have major aspects of his characterization clarified, which is kind of my point.
Agree. Man, if you want, speaking of Organization 13, if you want a red flag, then Marluxia fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get it though.
But also that scythe and that hair.
I mean, I get it, 100%. Damn, Elio's kind of tanky nowadays. I don't think of Furion as tanky. He's kind of he's like a DPS fighter to me in my mind. But, we need a tank. So.
Well, I mean, the thing is, too, is, he just kept getting attacked, and so his evasion and, just kept going up.
Yeah.
Arden is a successful villain because you both want to love and hate him. I don't think Arden is I don't think Arden's a failure of a villain. I think the story around him fails him. More than I think he himself is, Can you post the link in the Discord, please? Aurora, yes, I can. In fact, why don't I just toss the link in chat now? Or actually...
Yeah.
Also, there may be someone else who does something similar for cheaper or, just as, or better or whatever. I didn't do a bunch of research, but this popped up. I looked into it, and I was very happy with the results and the reviews. So I'm going to throw this into our Discord. Speaking of, we have a Discord. If you haven't joined it, you definitely should. We socialize and have a whole good bunch of times. Ooh, what should I toss it in? Naniri, distract for me.
Okay. I'm trying to think about what Eorzean looks like Aqua from Hunter. Is it, which Eorzean would look like Aqua? Maybe... Do you mean, Eorzean? Yeah, maybe Eorzean looks like hold on, I forget completely what Eorzean looks like.
I tossed it in general.
Okay, Eorzean does look like Aqua, you're right.
Yeah, I totally see it.
Like Aqua had a baby with lightning.
Love watching the worst console FF game of all time. Story is good, but gameplay is much to be desired. Are you talking about 15? Because actually I like the 15. 15 isn't fully refined and it's a bit spammy, but 15 I would prefer over a lot of other Final Fantasy games. Do a super chat, make Elio say weird shit, and silly voices. Now it's extra fun noises. The money girl sorts fun things. And Demins, I know I'm late, but it's a perfect road trip song. Sure. Oh, is this our guy?
Is this a bus? Yeah.
Hey, rebels, never thought I'd have to deal with your kind down here. If you think you're getting mithril, you'd be right. My mithril blade straight through your heart.
Interesting.
Ooh, I like the music.
I think there's another boss down here to fight.
Well, we'll keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Once we've beat this guy, we can backtrack.
I feel like, am I crazy? I feel like Minwu invalidates so much because of the fact that you can just cure spam and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's he's like Teller in that way, isn't he? He's like the stupid, powerful guy that you get, and then who gets taken away from you.
Mm-hmm. It is fascinating that they give you him so early, though.
Well, I think that's
You
the
literally-
point, right? It is to give you this big buff guy to make you feel powerful, and then he dies, and maybe it makes you more attached to him.
Yeah, you know, that's a really good point. Using this what's on hand to, you know, instead of just giving you a bunch of dialogue with him, instead
Right.
making you care for him by
That might work. I think that might actually be a clever idea.
Yeah, I think you definitely is a clever idea. Does anyone remember that one Eorzean from Heaven's Word without the mask looks like Aqua from Kingdom Hearts? Yeah, definitely talking about. I mean, because also other than La Habre and Igyorm, there isn't. I mean, well, I guess if you're talking about patch content, there's a Litibus that pops up, but there isn't.
Yeah, but we
Right.
don't see La Habre's face, do we?
No.
I
Well-
mean, not his real face. We see his Thancred face.
Yeah. But I need my heart to not have a blade in it. Have you considered not going on an adventure then?
Well, there we go. There's the sergeant down. Kind of underwhelming that he's just a sergeant, right? Like, he's not even an officer. He's just like an enlisted guy that we just killed. I wonder why it's not like lieutenant or captain.
Well, because there's a captain that guards the inn in Flynn.
Okay. But how do you
Uh,
remember that?
I don't know.
Okay, so to backtrack for this guy, so we get a teleport tome. So and we want teleport, right?
Yeah, you know it already.
Okay,
Or no.
so we.
I didn't teach it
Oh,
to
do
you.
I?
Minwu.
Oh, yeah,
I have
Minwu.
one in.
Yeah, but Minru will die. Okay, how do we get to it?
Do I need to go across the bridge?
Yeah, back to the
FF2
entrance of this level, of this floor.
FF2
then-
has a hell of a body count, pun not intended, but accepted anyways.
Well,
I wonder which FF has the most highest body count.
14, right?
I was about to say 14 because like the calamity and stuff,
Yeah,
and also
right.
because of the length of it.
There's been several apocalypses.
I mean, like even if you ignore those and only count on-screen deaths, I bet you it's still 14 because of just its sheer length. I mean, you think about combining events that take place on the first and Endwalker and Stormblood and Heaven's
Yeah.
Word.
Maybe 9 could challenge it a little bit. Oh, wait. Wouldn't 6 stand a good chance with the apocalypse at the end?
Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing is like, what do we mean by on-screen deaths, right? Like explicit singular entity death that are not broadly like
That
implied,
probably is
but, like,
13 then. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, to be fair, the opening of 10, you see all those people in the stadium die.
Yeah, do you count that then? Because you see
That-
the
that-
whole
yeah.
of Alexandria die in 9, right?
Right.
Well, not the
Well,
whole,
how-
but the vast majority.
How specific? Because the thing is, like, you can see the individual people below you being killed by the water, right? Like, so that's why instead of just being like, oh, Xanarkin counts, it's like that specific audience, you know,
Right.
counts because you can witness that. Whereas like Alexandria, like gets fucked, but like how many people do you like?
That's true.
Individuals are you seeing?
Yeah, okay, you got me there. That's true.
Because I mean, like you could also argue a lot of that same stuff with like 8. Or you know, like the plate falling, the pizza falling in 7.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. That is supposed to be a pretty huge like death toll from that as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Elio super buffed his party super early. Best part of this game is how easy it is to, you know, if you know the trick to it, and how hard it is if you don't. Honestly, the thing is that like I just ran around. I literally was just exploring the world, and leveled up just leveled everything up a whole bunch that way. I also say I was having a lot more fun exploring in this. I think part of the reason why is there's a lot more of like things you can do before
Multicast as well.
Yeah, well, seriously. But like you can explore most of the overworld from the get-go. And I just will always prefer that because I want to be able to like before I maybe do the MSQ, I want to like go power level some or like and like just like go explore stuff and feel like, oh, by the time I'm ready to actually supposed to go somewhere, I already know it a little bit.
Okay, see, I'm quite a fan of closed world games.
Mm-hmm.
I like open world games, but
I
think
prefer
have a
closed.
preference. Yeah, okay.
My preference when I talk about exploring like that is if it's gonna be open, make it open.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no, I get
you know,
you.
like a lot of my favorite games are hyperlinear, where it's all about execution improvement in practice or what have you.
What do you mean?
But you know, Let me think. Think like boss rush. Like imagine a boss rush games where the bosses is all you have, right?
Okay.
That is like one thing. Or but I also love, we both love Dark Souls, right? And so Dark Souls has that same element of like, okay, save for, especially if we're talking about like 1, right? You can go straight into the Tomb of Giants. You can straight go at it. Like you can go anywhere regardless of whether or not you're trying to ring the bells or not. Like you are allowed to. You can fuck yourself with that, but you're allowed to.
Yeah. This is the other boss, by the way.
This turtle?
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be easy.
I would imagine so. He's just a guy.
Oh, damn. Oh, no, that was melee? Oh, yeah, Blizzard's gonna kill this motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I did fight a lot of the turtles, so I learned their weaknesses.
Oh, I see.
And they're the only enemies whose weakness I learned for some reason. Congratulations, you now know how to teleport.
Nice. Good. Before Minu dies on us.
I didn't realize it was so early. 14 is kind of cheating, though. FF2 definitely has the most party members who die, though. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean...
Well, then again, you can't trust companions, because they're, like, now that they're backdating those, they're starting to die off.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Well, and I guess I would say your party, arguably, is the Scions, right?
Than any trust member, I would say.
You would require you would base it off the trust, because I would say that effectively narratively wise, I would just say like whoever's the official Scions, in which case we have lost 3.
No, I'm saying the Scions and trust members.
Oh, and trust members. Okay.
Yeah. Like Horshathon, Izael, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so 5.
Oh well, if you count the Ascians, the Amratines, that's another 3.
Oh yeah, that's.
I mean, is Vanard dead? That's a thing to debate.
Yeah.
Did she die? She never died.
Well, but like from her explicit line, right, is that when she was done, she would return to the star, and like she's basically, explains that you defeating her is being done. So
but is that death?
Returning to the star? I mean, what else is it? Like yeah. I mean, like her aether returned to the ethereal sea. That's.
I sort of read it more as her just continually ascending into higher levels of existence. Into Hydaelyn, into a convocation member, into Hydaelyn, into, then into one with the star. It doesn't seem like she. I mean, I know that I'm being pedantic here, but
no. I'm curious. I just read it as she returned to the ethereal sea like any other soul would. That was like part of the point for her. That I'm actually very curious about. This different thought on it.
I agree that that's the mechanics of it, but I'm just thinking on the sentiment of it. Almost like it's like it's achieving some sort of enlightenment or nirvana, to use perhaps the words.
I feel like
sparingly.
her achievement of nirvana, though, was the understanding of the beauty of the world and the acceptance of her part in its cycle, and that for her, nirvana is to accept the oblivion of the end of herself. Like, I don't think her soul reincarnates. I think what is left of her is returning to the sea and truly like coming to an end, coming to a close, and like letting herself just be one with the life stream, and letting her aether completely be added to new life. Not even just like which I guess in a sense, letting your soul break down rather than be reincarnated is in a sense,
exactly. I'm thinking.
So I feel like both our points still would agree with each other.
Yeah, it's true.
You can compare them, but they don't have the same characterization. Yeah, Type 0 apparently kills off its entire cast of playable characters in its normal ending. Yeah, all 12 of them. Yeah, Type 0 is weird. Type 0 is a very strange game.
It is, but damn, if Sykes's, Cersei's, is that her name?
I totally
The scythe wielder. Her character's name slaps.
Dude, there's a lot of good characters. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think, like, Type 0 is devoid of cool things or interesting. Like, it has, like, the idea of, like, people dying and you, like, forget them that they die, and the existential fear that causes. And, like, there's great ideas at its heart.
Right, yeah. Man, so I think I mentioned last stream that I started reading a new book series, The Locked Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I finished that in, like, 3 days. It's so good.
Nice.
If anyone else wants a book to read, I definitely recommend it. and there's so it's about necromancers, right? Like, so to sort of set the
Go
scene,
on.
like it's sci-fi fantasy, and the something fucked up happened to humanity. I haven't read the whole series, just the first book, but essentially humanity died and was resurrected by a soul surviving necromancer, the guy who discovered necromancy, who is now the god emperor of the solar system. And so everyone's sort of a necromancer. They have, like, they're organized into different houses that have their own flavors of necromancy, each based on lesbian necromancers in space, right? And everyone's gay. But there's,
okay, can I tell you what's running through my mind? It's like every time you add another layer, I add like another thing to the pile. So like I started like a little bit like Soma, and then it'd be like, oh, but plus some Warhammer 40k, and then oh no, okay, but plus Bloodline Masquerade. It's like,
no, there's definitely actually it was written by a big Homestuck, so add that in there. It's a huge influence on it.
I was not expecting Homestuck to come up to this conversation.
The main character of the first book is Dave Strider. It's just lesbian Dave Strider. But the
I mean, lesbians already love Dave Strider for some reason.
You've got me there. But anyway, there's a concept in the book which is to ascend to a high level of power. Essentially, all the necromancers are paired with a cavalier, who's like a guardian or a bodyguard, and they
So
you have
some
to
Final Fantasy X in too.
right. And if the cavalier dies, its soul merges with yours, and you become like a warrior necromancer.
Okay, cool.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just thought it was interesting. I just love that book series already. So if anyone else wants to read a new book, then read the new book.
Rip, good to glad to have you. And have you seen the new ass mount? Do you mean the one that's definitely not Anonymous Persona, or is there another one they released as well?
Oh, Anonymous Persona.
Yeah, you're the one who made that joke, if I'm not mistaken.
I stood by it.
I stand with you. I stand with you.
Yeah.
Gemini, good to glad to have you. Cool, old school Final Fantasy. Indeed, we're on Final Fantasy 2 currently.
Indeed, Gemini.
You got your Yosef ready?
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. You'd better get that minstrel back to Altair. Princess Hilda is waiting for you.
I couldn't resist at least getting him.
You? Yeah, you got me there.
Yes!
Well, he's gonna be a party member eventually. So.
Oh, you're gonna have some practice, my friend.
I am. Maybe one day I'll be able to do it without saying "yeah" first.
Oh, there's another rip. Oh no, I didn't. I did see the emote though, guys. Literally, they're adding our Graha emote. Well, I mean, it's we based the Graha emote off of their Graha doing it in the narrative, but they're adding that that Graha emote that like shining to the game as an actual emote players can use in 6.25.
I love that. That's perfect.
And everyone in the Discord is currently shouting about how they desperately hope that when you do as a Mikoto, your ears wiggle and your tail like.
That would be amazing, but honestly, I don't know if the ears have that rigging.
I'm pretty sure. Well, the ears do wiggle as part of some other emotes.
Okay,
so
maybe
they may be able to do that. But yeah, most of the time you see it with like Graha, it is bespoke.
Yeah, right.
We need to go back to the city. Everyone's now doing the Graha emote. Honestly, though, by playing this game, you'll find out why I call ARR the FF2 of 14. The story beats are similar. Yeah, I'll be interested to look for that. I guess, like,
me too.
I don't. Other than Empire broadly as themes, I didn't necessarily see them as very similar, but I'll definitely.
It's not something I'd registered. It's not something that jumps out at me now, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. Ray, you love the lesbian necromancer book? That seems out of character for you.
I was introduced to it by lesbians, so.
Yeah, Rip, I gotta check out whatever that new.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, if you want to pass it along. Ray, I just got your message about the All Saints Wake idea you had, and I love it. It's hysterical. At least, like, even if we could just work that in for like a couple lines or something somewhere, like I'll write a joke and like insert it and just get Naniri to do that. It's a great idea. Let's just say it involves Matoya voice.
Oh yes. Yes, we have to do it. The new ass mount. Okay, let's have a look.
Be careful not to type in ass mounting.
I did. Already did.
Also, we're gonna be streaming playing Sildy. I'll probably be streaming playing normal the first day it comes out a whole bunch. And then I will also be doing it hopefully with Jubilant and Issa on the following day. We'll be doing like Ass and maybe hopefully Ass Savage. But if we do that, there will be an open slot. I don't know if Ninir, you want to join in. I assume you're busy, especially at
yeah. We'll have to see on timing. If I get this new job, maybe I'll be more open. Is it the Sunforged? Is it Rip?
Could you toss in the Discord and like
I will do
discussion or something, unless it's spoiler.
Yeah. No.
Endwalker spoiler. If it's like a lore spoiler, it's fine.
No, it's not really a lore spoiler.
No, actually,
trying to get like a clean image of it, which is difficult.
I mean, you want to toss the link in.
Hold on, I'll chuck it in. I'll chuck it in. I'll just chuck it in Endwalker spoilers because I guess you could summarize some stuff from it.
Yeah. Pull up Endwalker spoilers.
Of course, my Discord's like fighting me every step of the way today for some reason.
Must there always be a struggle?
Software just has never developed to the point where it's being nice to me. But it's pretty cool. I like it. It's giving me Shinryu vibes.
Ooh, that bodes well. Let's just say Prey Return to the Waking Sands got its start here. We're having a return in Altier after every story beat.
Yeah, I mean you've got well that's fair. Is Hilda Minfilia then? Wild Rose. Oh well, I guess Wild Rose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunt for Mithril.
I feel like I must have noticed this before, but I only like in retrospect, because I haven't played Eden in like 2 years, but I'm going back through some of the Eden stuff, and I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of like Final Fantasy X references and stuff in here. There's a bunch of stuff like the oh, not Refulgence, maybe it is the battle with Zebra Ramu takes place literally in the Thunder Plains from 10, like just straight up. Am I wrong? Is it like, I know it's Eorzean and Ramu but is it come on, like
yeah. No, yeah, it's Thunder Plains. It's absolutely Thunder Plains.
Literally, even like the buildings are the same.
Yeah. Man, the buildings. I see those in the back of my head when I close my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Eorzean's in 10 though, right? Yeah.
Eorzean is your lightning one. Yep. Which is actually funny because for a long time, like I didn't have like a strong association with Ramu as a summon because like the games that I played were always he was never the lightning.
Really?
Character. Yeah.
So which games would you link that as? So obviously 10. Which other ones don't have him as the?
I don't actually. Now I'm curious which ones don't have him. And yes, Minfilia equals FF2 Hilda. That I mean like they're both blondes. You're all good. You up for Hilda?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that is.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I just saw that there's a card game called Million Arthur, and it has FF10 cards in it. And it has like a Gajinka of Eorzean that's just a naked woman with what appears to be a butt plug in. So, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go be looking that up while you're talking.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, blocking it from my mind.
Yeah, very smart.
Wait. This is an ass mount, not like a P8S mount.
Oh no, it is P8S. Wait.
Okay. Because that would make sense because that's like part of the P8S fight.
Hold on. What mount's being referred to then?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again though? Eorzean.
It's Million Arthur is the name of the card game. It's the card is called Spark.
I need to know. Oh wow. I'm not gonna show that one on stream.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. That's... God damn it, Japan. That's... Okay. Well.
I mean, I thought Rage of Bahamut was bad.
You thought what, Bahamut?
Oh, Rage of Bahamut? You don't know that card game?
Oh, Rage of Bahamut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at least it didn't do that with its art.
Oh, of course I know about the Graha one, because I've seen the Lalafell image that they're marketing it with. When a piece of Lalafell media it begins to exist, I immediately...
you just see...
it's a chair, is it?
Oh, is it?
Chair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lady Soria, good to see you, glad to have you. If you like what we do, consider showing your support and signing up for Patreon. It helps this whole thing become more sustainable, and money goes a long way towards allowing me to pay for treats for Deadpool. And also do all sorts of, fun stuff with the community. Mounts aren't spoilers, they'll be everywhere in the world after a week.
True.
It's a fair point.
I've put the chair in the spoiler chat anyway.
Oh, and it has the grapes, and that's why obviously because of Sildi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. They managed to literally make a really good lore mount that is also a hilarious joke. That's fantastic. Okay, you want to read Hilda?
I'll grab Hilda. Yes. The Empire also suffered. Is that her voice? I think it is. The Empire also suffered heavy losses at the Battle of Fynn. They're building the Dreadnought in Bass to help. We've already read these lines to help compensate for those losses. Key items maybe.
Oh yeah.
You found the mithril. Now we'll finally be able to fight the Empire on equal footing. It's like one chest of it. How powerful is this thing?
I mean, you saw how much... Well, actually, no, you haven't watched it yet. I was supposed to say you saw what the mithril did in Rings of Power, but... Anyways, continue.
Yes. I've already read this one, yeah. Please take the mithril to Tobal, the town blacksmith. It's that powerful, and we're just giving it to a guy called Tobal? I'm certain he'll be able to use it to make you some magnificent weapons. Okay, Tobal, random town blacksmith.
Hey, look, if there's one thing that Final Fantasy allows us to know, it's that random-ass blacksmiths can do wonderful things. I mean, have you seen Geralt?
Yeah, that's true.
I was talking to someone, and I mentioned, we were talking about Witcher, and I typed in Geralt and spelled it like Geralt from 14 instead of Geralt from, with an O instead of an A. Which is, a reasonable mistake, but also was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, you guys looking for the throne with grapes? Yes, that is what we were talking about.
We have found it eventually.
Grapes of knowledge is the symbol. What I forget, because there's the flame of, there's the flame.
So the reason that I get confused with this is that they change between Belladaya and Ul'dah and Sildi. They have different names, and they merge with each other as well, so it's confusing. But I think it's Flame of Power, Helm of Might, Grapes of Knowledge. Just one more. What's the other one?
The Flame?
No, I already did Flame. Flame of Power. Helm of Might. Grapes of something. What's the other one?
Scales.
No, it's not Scales. Hold on.
The gem.
Oh yeah, the gem of prosperity. Okay. So yeah, Grapes of Knowledge then. Thanks, Hunter.
What could you want with me? I'm just an old man. I wouldn't possibly know how to work with mithril. Oh, mithril! I've been waiting for a chance to work on this metal for as long as I can remember. All right, leave the rest to me. Swords, armors, you name it. I'll start crafting. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'll make it work. It's been too long since I let my hammer ring. So long that, in fact, I may have completely forgotten the entirety of my craft, and I might have gone quite senile.
Tobal, does this town not have people with horses or farmers? Why have you not been doing your job?
Banana of horniness? Okay, now I feel like that you could argue that might have slightly become the symbol of tea. The tea of horniness.
Listen, you put the alcohol in the Niniri, you can't blame me for what comes out the other end.
It's not just our fault. I let the Graha people go wild, and they've been going hard.
Okay, fair dues.
You can buy equipment I made over at the shop counter. This will keep my hands full, I'll tell you that. It was a single chest, but apparently it was enough to make a wide assortment of weapons.
Very, very cool that we risked our lives to get the mithril, and you're making us buy it.
Yep. Something free market.
Oh, and there isn't even one for Rosa.
No, there's one for Bean.
True. Or maybe the mace. No, the. Oh, okay.
Does the mace count as an axe? I don't think the mace counts.
No,
as an
it's its own thing, isn't it?
I'm in when you're about to.
Oh, I think it's Sansa's staff. So, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about putting it on Helio.
Yeah, we're gonna put Mage's staff on.
Okay.
Do you have any secondary effects? No. No, we don't need to double staff you. I mean, you know what? Actually, what does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? This is where we find out that it has some crippling effect on your magic stat.
Yeah, or something wild. They've been going hard, Elio 2022. You're not wrong. You're not.
Are there
wrong.
any? Sorry, Soria says, are there any dungeons and bosses from 2 in? There are almost certainly bosses from 2 in 14. I can't. I would be very surprised if there's a dungeon from 2. Not that I can think of.
FF2 bosses. Let's find out. I don't mind looking ahead.
No way.
I played
Yeah.
this game before. The bosses are a turtle, Sergeant, Adamantoids, Vorgan, Red Soul, Hilda, Chimera. I mean Chimera.
Yeah.
Lamia Queen, Behemoth.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lamia is kind of ubiquitous, though, right?
Yeah. Bighorns show up.
Oh, Wild Rose. I mean, well, that's not a dungeon, but
Were roundworms in? Because roundworms are basically in the Scoli Desert.
yeah, but they appear in 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, the Uldar main theme is a remix of the battle theme from 2. That's cool. The Beavers. Yeah. Yeah, the main storyline. You know, the prologue storyline in Uldar. The main theme for that whole storyline is the battle theme from 2 remixed.
Huh. I feel like I've heard that. And I didn't hear that, but okay.
Apparently, the beavers in Ilmeg are a reference to 2.
Yes, the beavers
makes
first show up
sense.
in 2. Yep.
Dreadnought. This is what FF Wiki's saying, but Dreadnought seems like a very flimsy excuse for a reference. Like that's just a type of ship.
Yeah, but I mean, like it does become, you know.
Yeah. It's obviously an iconic callback. You know, like I think they appear in other games as well. But
4 and 14 at the very least.
Yeah.
Are there any? They've been going hard. All Saints Glam for the event is pretty mad scientist. Yep. Oh, I love the Sass outfit. I tried making my own Mad Dr. Glam for Halloween this year. Yeah. Haha, lady. Treats for Deadpool is one way to win me over. Yep. Speaking of, I should go get the boy in a second.
Yeah, always good. Just briefly.
I got it up here. Yeah. Go through. Oh, okay. Return to Elstier, get the Mithril NPC weapon shop, buy new Mithril equipment, tier up Howlum. Go to Poft, talk to the guy behind Sid, and choose to fly to Bafsk. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get a Bask, right? We can walk there, or we can, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah. I think I'm almost certain we've been to Bafsk, and we just realized we weren't supposed to be there yet.
Well, no, because it's where Sid is, so we definitely were hanging out there for.
Right. Yeah.
FF2 world map, just so I have that. Yeah, if I remember rightly, FF2 like actually kind of doesn't have a ton that's in.
FF2 is sort of the forgotten game, right? And 11,
some
I
way.
guess. But then again, you know, you see 11 all over through 14.
Well, I mean, even just the models in 14, because the amount of asset reuse from 14 to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of 13, 11, 12 models in 14.
Mysidia, Altair, Column, Chocobo Forest. Chocobos aren't in 1, right? Or are they?
No, they're not. They're not in
No,
1.
so Chocobos come from 2. That's what I thought. Right.
Did they come from 2?
Yeah, because you get the Chocobo Forest in this.
Oh, okay. I always associate them with 5.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Yeah, no, because they're super in 4, so I definitely know at least they're in that.
Yeah, but I always feel like the first one where they're like the really big part is 5, right? Where, you know, the main character is sort of built around having a chocobo companion.
Mm-hmm. Palmesia, Coliseum. The Coliseum becomes a recurring element in Final Fantasy games. Starts it.
That's
I wonder.
True.
I mean, there's already kind of a snow cavern in 1, so this is like incredibly, like, circumspect, but like the snow cavern in this, and you think about snow. Oh my god, why am I forgetting his name? 2.x, where you're chasing Lady Iceheart, has Fenris at the end. Snow.
Yeah, true.
I love it. Snowden? No, Snowden Town's it's.
Yeah, not Snowden. Snowden's from Undertale.
Yeah. Why is my brain breaking and I can't remember its name? Someone's gonna yell at me in a second. Can't say.
Listen,
Oh, cool.
if 14 has a significant reference to fucking Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Tales, it can have 2 references. Oh, of course. This is not 2, but I'm just reading some references. I forgot that Ishtola's Limit Break is ascending from 10.
Yeah. I mean, that I saw. The second I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
So.
I recognized it, but I'd just forgotten it.
Yeah. But I have to go. Okay, see, Power, thanks for popping in. Invited to my island on Malbro. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll go hang out there sometime. Hey, I just realized we are one step closer to a Valor minion 14 with a Corgi minion. Yes. Yes, the ultimate goal of T is to get Deadpool as a minion. That's,
of course.
Like, what else could we possibly want? Goblins, go away.
They love goblins in these early games.
I mean, like, they are, like, I mean, you do that or kobolds for your quintessential.
True. When did we last have a goblin for summon?
I don't know. I genuinely don't.
Because I feel like Goblin Punch, you can get that on Blue Mage, right?
I think so. I bet you there's a lot of nods to things with Blue Mage.
Yeah, I bet.
We want to go to Bask.
Yeah, so you can summon Goblin in 4. Or maybe they're only summonable in 4. That doesn't sound right to me.
No, I feel like they'd pop up somewhere else. I swear to God.
Swear to me.
Bask.
Maybe I made it up.
Go through Bass Cave Dungeon. Again, use map to help. There's no boss. And Bath Soldier Soldier west of the magic shop. Okay. Like, here's the thing. If I was playing this solo game, I wouldn't mind, like, wandering around and lasking this stuff as nearly as much. But, like, streaming, I don't want to just be spending the better part of 2 hours.
No, I get you. I 100% get you. It's okay. I'll just guide you with all of the skill that I guided you through the Bahamut trial in 1.
Go to the Poth God. Check the soldier to the west of the magic shop. Mention Dreadnought. Oh, the one that's blocking the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy.
General Borgin took command of things in Bafsk a short while ago. Things have gotten much easier than they were under the Dark Knight. It's hard to believe a bumbling idiot like Borgin could become a general in the Imperial Army. Oh, you did not hear that from me. So you're one of those that sent to destroy the Dreadnought. Don't worry, I'm on your side. There's an entrance to the sewers up ahead. It's a back way leading to the Dreadnought. Be careful.
That seems like
out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, also, like, literally just saying the word Dreadnought had him reveal his machinations. I mean, like...
What if we were, like, just a random guy?
Right? Like, have you seen that fucking Dreadnought, man? It's like, oh, Dreadnought, you're on my side. Let's betray, the Empire, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen to you. If they say us talking, they may start to get suspicious. So I'm out of here. Good luck. Yes, that's why they'll get suspicious.
You didn't even leave the town. You just walked off in the direction you could only possibly have walked off if you were... Well, just into the trees, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm definitely thinking he yeeted himself from the town.
Yeah.
That's the only
Man, we're repeating the enemy types a lot in this game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Like, cross dungeons as well, which is unusual to me.
I have to wonder if it's partially, though, because in a sense, like, there's a longer amount of time before you're switching up. Despite the fact that you can go to different zones quicker, there's a much wider breadth of time before you're switching up regions.
Yeah.
And so there's only like 10 tiles that you have to worry about in terms of like 1, whereas there's, you have 20 tiles in 2, but the game's like twice as long or 3 times as long.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of narrative.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, definitely. It's So you remember in 13, the goblins in 13? They were weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're like ring buddy things.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen this. I actually genuinely don't even remember.
They're like onion rings with arms.
You'd think that alone would bring them to mind.
Right?
Oh, those were goblins?
Yeah, those are goblins.
I kind of love them.
Yeah, 13. Say what you will about 13, but it had a really strong aesthetic image of itself in its hand.
It absolutely did.
It still kind of trips me out when we see Falsi in 14, though, the models.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I'm like, well, that's just a Falsi.
Yeah.
That's literally just like, it's so self-contained in my head to 13.
Yeah. Yeah, it is one of those things where I feel like if you look at 13 and you look at the way they, or look at 14 and look at the way they use those models, it totally works if you don't know what they are. But if you do know what they are, they do absolutely stand out.
Yeah,
I think it's really, I think it's really smart how they use a lot of that stuff too with Allegan.
Right. So like all the 13 stuff, or most of the 13 stuff, is Allegan references, which works.
Yep.
Like the Bahamut's,
Yep.
right? No, the Behemoths.
Yeah.
They use their Behemoths for, and I think all of the Falsi also appear in Allegan places.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, the designs are definitely unique.
Kathra, good to see you, glad to have you. Those are the weirdest goblins I've ever seen, but points for unique design. Yeah, and the thing is, it's really cohesive design of like 13's weird, and also it does that. It combines like naturalism, but also with like pseudo-futurism, like pseudo-modernist futurism in a weird way.
Yeah, everything unless it's like an adamantoise is like a little bit techy, basically.
Yeah.
I would say,
very,
yeah, literally everything is the adamantoise, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray Ray.
I also like how a lot of the animals that you see have two forms: their pulse form and their
Cocoon form.
Their cocoon form, and the cocoon forms are always like a little bit more sci-fi, like the wolves.
Yep. Which and it makes total sense. Like, there's a lot of environmental story that's told.
There is actually.
I'm excited to get back to 13 because I really don't know if I'm gonna be a lot less kind or like remarkably more kind to it.
See, I like 13. I'm a kind of a 13 defense squatter, but I don't know if I'm a 13-2 defense squatter like you are.
So I wouldn't say I'm 13 defensive. I say, like, for me playing it, I felt like really thrown off by its act structure, and then
right.
I was the thing because you really don't even get your crew until you're basically done with the game, and like that just threw me for a fucking loop because you're all always split up for most of it.
In 13 or in 13 too?
In 13, like in 13
right.
until you hit pulse, you're all split up.
Yeah.
But in 13 too, you know, you've got Noel and Sarah, and like it like tells its story, and it's so I really like 13 too. Is there a reason that you are more tepid on it?
You know, I guess I just never attached to Sarah and Noel just quite as much as I did like Lightning, and all of that. Also, I wasn't. You know, when you're a teenager, right? Often how much you're attached to games depends on how much you're playing games at that specific point in your teen years.
Yep.
More than
absolutely
the actual game itself. Like I was playing games a lot more when 13 came out than when 13.2 came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally know exactly what you mean. I think for me, I had a hard time attaching myself to 13 squad because of the way in which that it took so long for them to all end up with each other, and like not that the stuff on Pulse wasn't good, but like, you know, you kept having all these vignettes of like, you know, you have Vanille and Saz, like, you know, doing their own, like, the whole thing, and they've got like the whole arc going
and the
parallel
lightning
with
and
everyone.
hope stuff, yeah, and
Yeah.
Who's Snow with?
Snow ends up with Lightning and Hope at certain points.
Yeah.
Right, like, the whole point about like, because he's alone for parts of it, but like the whole thing is like you're reaching the point where Hope is meeting him and dealing with him because of, you know,
right,
what happened with his mom.
Yeah, because of his mom. Yeah, he's sort of alone when the other two are grouped up, and then he joins with those others.
Yeah.
Dark Knight. Who wants to do Dark Knight?
You do the Dark Knight.
You're too late. The Dreadnought is complete.
Is it just Darth Vader? Is he about to tell us about his fully operational battle station?
I've been working behind the scenes to see the project through to completion.
Have you been stunned to death by my reading?
End your resistance. Kneel before your emperor. It is the only alternative left to you. Consider what I've said. When the time comes, we will meet again.
Man, kind of wild. Like, this guy's been sold to us as completely ruthless, and now he's just letting us go.
Sorry. That whole time you were doing that, I had a Kylo Ren helmet on.
Nice.
Hey, looks like you came all this way for nothing. See for yourselves.
Why don't we just kill Borgin here?
I mean, seeing as we kind of at one point do.
Well, I mean, we absolutely do, yeah. But
he's like, other than the Emperor, he's kind of the most personified like boss.
yeah. You're welcome, Soria. Thank you for appreciating it. Oh, okay, that's not very nice of you, Borgin. Was that Finn? Oh, okay.
Whoopsie, they did a worm crime again.
Yeah, worm crime. That's when you kill worms.
Yeah. Or is you know what you basically could call the Dragon Song war worm crime.
You explicitly could.
Never played 13 myself. Kind of fell off Final Fantasy. Bust after 8. Not a big fan of the story. Played a bit of 15. Now 14 owns my soul. I mean, here's the thing I will say about Final Fantasy that I find to be its greatest strength, and one of its greatest strengths is just like it's a mixed bag, and I don't even mean that as criticism. It's just like you can be someone who like loves 2, hates 4, loves 11 and 12, but hates 13. Like, you know,
if you hate 4, you're wrong. But yes, a path.
I mean, I don't know if there's any mainline one I hate.
No, I don't hate any game, any Final Fantasy game.
I feel like
I kind of have this. I don't. I have Johto syndrome. Like, okay, well, maybe Johto syndrome is just something that I experience, but I don't like Johto. And I also don't like 8. I guess it's a popular but polarizing game that I don't like. Maybe that's what I mean by that.
FF8?
Yeah, FF8 has its ardent defenders.
I mean, it has its ardent defenders, but I wouldn't say that it's like. I mean, honestly, most people I know either haven't played 8 or either like 8, like or like yeah, it's fine, whatever. I don't know. Other than its ardent defenders, I don't know that a lot of people like.
I've seen a lot of like contrarians say, "Oh, 8's way better than 7," and stuff like that.
I think I find 8 more interesting than 7 on the whole. I think it's flawed. I think it's flawed, but I also think if 8 had been given like the same amount of effort and time and energy like in following up games, because like for me, I think like 7's kind of a mess in terms of trying to fully follow along with its narrative, partly because of technical limitations, and it's only because thanks to things like Crisis Core and other things that have helped build up and clarify and Advent Children, what have you, that like a lot of 7, what 7 means to me, like 7 as a single entity actually doesn't mean that much to me, but things like Crisis Core and Advent Children mean a lot to me.
Okay, yeah. So are you saying that it's kind of almost opaque in some of its storytelling?
I think it's really opaque, and also like everything with Zack, right, is really weirdly presented, both because of technical limitations and also because of like.
I mean, it sure is weirdly presented in the remake. Is Zack alive now?
Yeah, well, I mean, they do explain, the dog, the different dog, the chip bag, it's different.
Yeah, it's yeah.
9's the best of the PS1 trilogy, in my opinion.
I love 9. Look, I think Elio knows well that I am a huge 9 defender.
I do think narratively, I think 9 is by far the most cohesive of the 3, in terms of like telling its narrative without getting messy.
Yeah, I think maybe the only reason that 9 isn't more popular is that it doesn't buy more fully into the sci-fi aspects that some of the PS1 trilogy does.
Well, it's a return to form. Like, it was intentionally, right? It was always meant as a return to form.
That's true. Man, Puff's fucked up. Maybe Sid has something for us. Oh, okay.
I think I was just gonna try to return back to
Yeah,
Hilda.
let's go to back to Hilda.
I like 9. I really need to replay 9 because like I remember.
You're in luck.
Yeah. It's like we're on our way. 9 did give us the most adorable black mage. Yeah, Vivi. Like it's funny too because the first time, I think the first time I ever met Vivi was in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, I think Vivi is one of the best written FF characters pre-10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in general, actually, but also, you know, in addition to 10. Look at that salty sailor down there. What's he got to say?
I'm hurt bad. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I feel like I would have sounded like a Texan accent there, like. Oh no, I don't want to.
Here you go.
Okay. Oh wow, depressing. I can't do a Texan. Ah, shucks, my daughter. They killed my daughter. That wasn't Texan, was it?
I don't know what the fuck that was. I just know it made me laugh. I did not think my day was gonna go. Yes, Elio. Later on today, you're going to laugh at the death of a man's daughter. Now I feel like a bad person.
I saw that and I was like, oh wow, this is an interesting chance to flex my vocals.
Honestly, I can tell you like one of the things that I have loved most about like doing all the voices and stuff for MSQ Replay is one, like just doing it and the practice of it and stuff, but it's also bearing witness to other people trying to do it because it seems relatively like, yeah, you do voices, whatever, but like trying to do voices, trying to do them with any consistency and like trying to come up with shit off the top of your head while like you're like, oh right, I can't take like a minute to like think about this. I just gotta do something.
I did a whole D&D campaign set in essentially my settings version of Italy, and I pulled out some real accents in that one.
Some real fucking bangers.
Yeah. Galtreya. Man, they really messed us up, huh? We did not come out of this well.
No. The life of the DM, the joys.
Yeah, right?
It's literally that Elidibus like line in Endwalker where it's like, may you have the joy of it, the sorrow. But like when
yeah,
when you're walking into the portal.
Oh man.
Bees go away.
Right? Oh man.
I once played a dwarf necromancer that spoke with the voice of a New Yorker with a smoker's lung. Real fun time there.
Yeah, I'll do it. So,
I mean, like...
no, go on.
I was just gonna say real quickly, just like, even just think about this narrative storytelling that, like, 2 is doing here by having these places that you, like, spent time in and stuff look one way, and then just...
I'm realizing, like, I always knew it was more advanced than 1, but I'm realizing just how huge the gulf is.
It really was, yeah. All you.
Many were wounded in the Dreadnought's attack. You failed miserably, you bastard. The shock has even caused my father's condition to take a turn for the worse. I hate that my father has to see this. Something Viserys.
I swear to God, if he has a gold mask.
Right? He knows. He knows his death is near.
Does he happen to say anything about a prophecy?
Don't let him say it to his new wife.
Yeah, for the love of God, please tell me there's no Aegons here.
He doesn't know. She doesn't know the context clues.
All you.
Is there nothing you can do, Minwu?
All those who live must someday die. It is our fate. Still, it is my duty as a white wizard to ease the pain of those who suffer. I shall remain here and devote myself to the care of the wounded. I take my leave of you. The fate of the world rests on you, Elio. Waste no time in destroying the Dreadnought. What about the other 2? What about Bean and Niniri?
We're just spectators. Well, let's not forget that Bean is like the IQ of a 3, Sorry,
Wonga,
Bean.
Wonga.
Yeah.
That does sound fun. I have a Twilight Cleric human with a southern accent. Hey, y'all. I'm casting Oblivion.
Maybe that was the kind of accent I was going for. I did do like that kind of accent on an elf once in an Arborean campaign I was running.
If only Demins was here to give us shit.
Oh, good Bean. I'm glad that you have snacks and do not care. What do you have? Do you have mammoth shank?
Oh, we need to go to Sid and Puffed. Okay.
Okay.
Ruby's equipped to talk to Hilda. Go to Abdul Tier. Talk to Hilda. Ask her about Sunfire. Oh, we have to go. We needed to talk to Sid before we came here.
Okay.
That's fine. Puff.
Okay, Demins. I'll accept your judgment. That's fine. You judge my southern accents.
I'm sadly judging your poor southern accents. You're only saying that because you're not really southern. We're more southern than you, clearly. Hey, y'all. If I just say hey, y'all over and over again, right? Perfect.
Yeah. Butter chickpeas and rice. That sounds good, Jelly. I had some inari for my lunch today.
Ooh, like inari sushi?
Yeah.
Yeah, good shit.
And then for dinner, I had just chicken wraps with sweet chili sauce. But yeah, the inari was nice.
I have not eaten yet today.
Hello.
And Flick's wounds have been renamed to Oh Bless Your Heart. Ah!
Well, what are you gonna rename Power Word Kill to then? Soria.
Oh, what's a good passive aggressive southernism for I am unfortunately Texan born and raised. It was one of my greatest failures.
So this job that I got an interview for, right? It's like so the current one that I'm working for is like very corporate. They have this big HQ, and like many centers that we teach in. But this one is like a mom and pop thing. Like it's got one center, like it's chilled out. Although apparently they do have showers and a kitchen there, like for the students. I'm like, okay, I hope I don't have to deal with any of that. But it should be nice.
Are you just teaching for a summer camp at that point?
No, so it's like a cram school, right? For someone from Japan, someone who's been in Japan or has interfaced with Japanese culture.
I know of what you speak. Yes, it is not a thing that is common to the Americas.
Right. Yeah, it's not a thing that's come to the UK either. But
Elio self-care. Look, food costs money. Secondly, I was busy cleaning and doing work and stuff.
Don't make me summon Issa.
Well, Issa, I was gonna say Issa's not here, so it's not like I'm gonna eat anyways. Elio pizza. I do have the eat pizza emo on Elio, so I also haven't eaten today and probably won't until 9 or 10 tonight. Mood demins. Fucking mood. This is why you should. Okay, I don't mean this is a guilt trip. This is why you should support us on Patreon.
Elio will literally starve to death. Well, Sid. Many people have died, and you just don't care.
What about we? What do you want to do is blow up the thing's engine. You can bring the whole overgrown, bring down the whole overgrown tug. Ah, there's Sunfire. Airships are powered by Sunfire. I'm sure the Dreadnought's no different.
Sunfire dragon in Dance of the Dragons. Yeah, it is.
No, is Sunfire? I thought it was Dreamfire.
There's one called Sun as well.
No,
Sunfire.
Okay. Who's Sunfires?
Egan.
Oh, younger or elder?
Elder.
Oh, okay. Oh, duh. Younger doesn't have one yet.
He doesn't ever have one because he gets hugely traumatized by that thing.
Yeah, he's just like, nah, nope. Understandably so.
Yeah, understandably. And then he falls into the Maester's trap because the Maesters are definitely responsible for it.
I love how you're like, it's not confirmed, but it's confirmed. It's like a whole Tenzin thing. It's like, it definitely what happened. It's not for sure what happened, but it's definitely what happened.
Exactly.
The first actual Sid. The Sid in FF1 was added retroactively. Oh, right, yeah.
Dreamfire. There's Dreamfire and Sunfire.
Interesting. Also, isn't Dreamfire's Helena's, right? So...
Yeah, Helena and Reyna before her.
Interesting. How do you think they're gonna handle Sea Smoke?
So, was it you? No, one of my other friends was suggesting that they might retcon Adam into being Lenore in disguise.
Interesting. Ooh, that's really interesting.
But my problem with that is what Then what's Alan? What's Aelin? If Adam isn't Adam.
See, honestly, I think the simplest pitch, my simple pitch is just Laenor died while in the East.
Yeah, or something
Sometime
like that.
In the intervening 6 years.
He probably did he take Sea Smoke with him? Probably not, right? Like,
No, he doesn't take Sea Smoke with him. No.
Yeah, so Sea Smoke can just rebond. Maybe he thinks it's gonna be hard to see the whole Nettle stuff go down. Like, I love Nettle so much.
Oh man, that is gonna be hard. But I really am gonna be excited to see like Nettles and Daemon and like, especially like now because everybody else has gotten so shit. Daemon seems so much better, like by comparison. Like Daemon's still an awful dick, but he's been an awful dick for so long. He's actually better at managing it than everybody else is at this point.
Yeah.
At least I feel like the past like 3 episodes have kind of conveyed that.
Yes. Yeah. I think I wonder what they're gonna do with the cannibal. How they're gonna make him interesting? Because like, I mean, he's already interesting, but they can do some really fun stuff with cannibal. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways they can go. What about Crossfire? Crossfire! Crossfire! For those of you who were born in the 90s, you'll know what we're talking about. If you're not, I look like a lunatic. But what else is new?
My father's condition has improved a great deal thanks to Minwu. So Minwu was lying to us then. Sunfire is the crest of the kingdom of Kashwan. And that's the pronunciation I'm going with. Its flame still burns on the ground floor of Kashwan Keep. Scott and Gordon, those are just normal men's names.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing.
Have told me many stories concerning the flame. The finer points of the tale are not known to me. However, I seem to recall that the flame cannot be held in just any torch.
Because things are never simple.
Right?
Sid told us that we might be able to use Sunfire to destroy the Dreadnought.
Then there's no time to waste. Get the fuck out of here.
Spy, good to see you, glad to have you.
Oh, hi. Hi, John J. You must depart for Kashwan Keep at once. If you hire Sid's airship, the journey should not take long. That leaves only one question. What can you use to bring the Sunfire back? No, okay. I thought you were going to give us an answer.
You might need some input, just a little thought.
Right? Maybe... well, let's go speak to Scott.
Where even is Scott?
He's out in the center. He used to be out there.
Red, good to see you, glad to have you. And my youngest pitbull is barking furiously and wagging in her sleep, and I just wanted everyone to know that. It's very good. Okay, now I need to get the boy.
Yeah, go get the boy. We love the boy. My dogs have started, so they've always like, I've always been able to make them howl by playing them videos of them howling, which they only do when we all leave the house, but they've started howling if I howl at them now, so we can have whole conversations like that. Which is very important to me. Welcome back. Doggo. Baby.
Hey, buddy, you want to do a little ASMR for the people? No, you gotta chew that. You can't just swallow it. Oh, buddy.
Blank.
There you go.
What a handsome guy.
Good job, bud. Good job. You're very good. He got a treat because of you guys. Your love is shared with him.
Perfect.
Let me pull up. Go to say politics to ask about Sunfire. Gotta ask about Sunfire. Learn. Go to Altair. Talk to Hilda. Ask her about Sunfire. Go to the room right to talk to the Dying King. Well, she just said he was doing better.
Yeah, like he's like rallying.
Why doesn't she go like? Why doesn't she just say like? Why don't you go talk to the king in his final hours? Like, so many have perished in the Dreadnought's attack. Perhaps it would be best if we surrendered to the Empire.
Scott sealed the gates of Kashuan, to protect the Sunfire in the event they were defeated in battle. You will need the goddess's spell to break.
Oh my
this.
god, the MacGuffins.
I mean, look, they created a system that relies on keywords. Of course, there's gonna be motherfucking MacGuffins on MacGuffins.
That's true. Yeah, you got me there.
Go
Man.
all the way to... Why do I have to go back to Salamand? Motherfucker! Oh, we're gonna get Yosef.
Yes. I'm really hoping that we get Allison and what's her husband called? Allison and what king was she married to?
Viserys?
Viserys first? No.
Wait, who? Allison...
Jaehaerys first.
Oh, Jaehaerys, yeah.
Yeah, Allison and Jaehaerys, because like Allison's a really cool character.
Oh, yeah.
And she fucked a Stark, which is, cool.
Don't we all want that?
Yeah, I mean, fair.
I just can't help it.
Cool.
I can't help but keep looking at every scene of every episode of that show and looking like, in a non-specified certain amount of time, either everyone in this room is going to be dead or so traumatized they might as well be.
Right, and the only ones who survive are going to be the babies.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that scene's going to be really hard to watch when it eventually happens. The Rhaenyra scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that one's that. I literally am. I'm simultaneously dreading it, and I'm also just like, that's gonna be rough. Like it's just gonna be.
And then pretty much every scene that Helena has written for her in the book is going to be hard to watch.
Oh, poor Helena. My middle pitbull and I have a barking conversation. And Neri, I get you.
Yeah. The, man. I often see people like, the amount of times that I've seen someone saying, oh, well, it's okay, the blacks win, the Dance of Dragons anyway. I'm like, no you missed the point entirely.
Yeah, the entire point of that story is no one won the Dance of Dragons. Literally, it ended the Targaryen. It's ultimately responsible for the end of the Targaryen reign.
You go and ask Aegon the Third if he feels like he won.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, like, one, ask Aegon the Third feels like he won. But on top of that, like, it's thanks to that, like, effectively, I mean, it's two key things, right? Like, it is the Dance of the Dragons and it is the Blackfire Rebellions. But, like,
right, the Blackfire
you don't get those.
Them, but, like, Dance of the Dragons pretty much single, like, the dragons don't survive another generation after this.
Right.
Wait, God. I just noticed that Minu isn't with us, and I was like, wait, why is there an empty space in the bottom of the screen?
Yes. He's most grievously... That's why I can't enjoy Game of Thrones media. Every time I get attached to a character, they die. I mean, like, that's the thing, though. Here's the important thing that's really, really important about Game of Thrones. Like, that's one of the reasons that I struggled with A Song of Ice and Fire and all that to an extent. But the thing about it that's really important is that characters aren't killed off because they want to kill off the character, or, for ignoring maybe some of, like, Benioff and Weiss's choices in later seasons. But, like, it's only because natural consequences of human actions happen. And so therefore, as much as like the Red Wedding and scenes like that destroy me, and as much as it was very hard to watch at the time, now I and even then you appreciate that didn't happen because we needed a climactic death of people we liked, or like, we're gonna subvert by killing the good guys. It's like, no, Rob made choice after choice after choice that ended up in that situation where it's like, yeah, this is a logical outcome. Even if it's surprising.
I wish I was Grimdarked out. I'm still on my 40k and my Asoyaf right. I'm in the Grimdark. I'm stuck in the Grimdark.
It's funny. I actually am really not a big fan of Grimdark.
Are you more noble, right?
Yeah, well, but I think there's a really wonderful conversation about something like Berserk. Is Berserk grimdark? And the reason I ask that is because it's incredibly grim, but it's an incredibly hopeful story too. It is a story about the resilience of man as well.
But I almost don't know if I recognize Grimdark as a story devoid of hope.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of why they'll bring up the conversation about it, because I feel like I talk to some people that is an inherent trait to it, because like there's a lot of ways in which you can argue that like every facet of the world of Warhammer 40k is inherently cynical and nihilistic, because even what little hope there might be on any level is dashed by like, okay, but inexorably, the Emperor, what it costs to keep the Emperor going, and also it's an intractable and inevitable decline. The warp, the very fundamental like fabric of the universe is allied against the idea of like good, of like any conceivable notion of good.
There's some interesting stuff going on. Like, there's definitely hope, and I think when 40k is at its best is when it shows that hope, the hope in the hope in the face of darkness. Yes. You have the stuff that, especially the stuff that came out in like the 2000s, that's just like, grimdark for the sake of being grimdark. But I don't think that's a fair representation of the setting as it is nowadays.
I would love to hear more about. Let me put it this way: all I have experienced from Warhammer 40k, which is not a huge amount, but is a decent amount, is represented much more by not just like specifically that 2000 stuff, but like being only shown or experienced only those aspects. So my perspective on it is deeply rooted.
The fandom has never been at all equipped to read the content they're dealing with, and that they just misrepresent it completely. And the ultramarine bias thing is not really so much a thing anymore. Domins, that was more a thing of like the 2000s with a certain writer and the 2010s, but he's gone now.
Yeah, 40k doesn't really bother me because it's just so over the top ridiculous. It loses all effect Grimdark usually has. I think the thing though is like, to me, like sometimes the scale of it is really, but the thing is, I guess the thing that to me is that something like a Song of Ice and Fire and something like like let's even just say specifically House of Dragons is I don't see it as grimdark. I see it more as historic tragedies, right? And
right, it's a parody of the War of the Roses, isn't it?
Right. Well, right, but exactly. And so it's this whole thing of like real history works out that way. And it doesn't feel like it's taking real history and like twisting the knife a bunch more than is actually reasonable if you look at our own, world. Whereas to me, like Grimdark is taking that knife, throwing it away, picking up the two-hander, stabbing it into the guy, and start just like twisting it around over and over and over again, like spinning it like a tornado. Like that to me, Grimdark is going the extra step.
Right. Dominion, you'll be glad Corax turns up in one of the short books recently.
I'm just salty Smurf Prime came back and none of the old cool Primarchs did.
Yeah, Ray, it's a fair analysis.
Welcome to the House of Dragons live stream where we watch some old game. Nineri, would you like to do some Yosef?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, it looks. Wow, okay, that's a very that's like a very ungracious response.
You're stuck on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you managed to save my daughter. Thank you. Oh, gone entirely different. That cowardly Vorgan had been threatening Nelly to get to me. Forgive me. If there's anything I can do to help, all you got to do is ask. The only way to reach the snow cavern is on my snowcraft. Okay. I keep the snowcraft hidden in the mine. There's a blue stone on the first floor that marks the spot. Look behind the stone and to the right. The secret room is there, and the snowcraft is inside. Oh. Okay. We ate Yosef before he could finish speaking. Yes, the Mins. Exactly.
I will. I'll give you some schnitzel in Niederhusen.
I like schnitzel. Schnitzel's good.
I don't think I've ever had schnitzel.
It's just like pounded pork. Is it pork? Yeah, it's pork, right? Yeah.
So we're going to the mine. Where's the mine?
It's where we just were. Well, it's where we were like a while ago. You know what it is.
Oh, right. So we're going back to the Mithril mine.
Yeah. You know that big blue stone.
Yeah. But yeah. So I guess what to you then defines grimdark? If it isn't necessarily a lack of hope and a bitter sticking to the grim.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, it's a big question. Like what does define it for you?
You know, a willingness to. There is a general darkness of setting. I think an involvement in a series of tropes that originate from the 80s, maybe the 70s, that are
Well, yeah.
common to a lot of Grimdark material.
Your Conans, your
Right, your Conans, a lot of stuff that came out of Britain under Thatcher as well is really foundational in Grimdark stuff. Stuff like Berserk is obviously becoming I would say that you could describe Dark Souls as Grimdark pretty easily. Oh, Eorzean is with us. Oh, he's a monk, okay.
Oh, we're gonna get the good punch. Oh wait, didn't you see that blue thing?
Yeah, it's this stone up here.
Fucking goblins. Yeah, I guess I'm not like. I'm now thinking about what defines it.
It's hard to pin it down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go out for some beer and bread, but it's really bad. It's behind the blue crystal, so if you go right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking started doing the accent and saying that. We gotta get us all together and just like do half of the bullshit that comes up in this.
I know, right?
Yeah, fucking goblins.
They do be gobbling our sword.
I'm pretty sure they're goblin our schnitzel.
Okay. A Wiener Schnitzel, maybe. Oh, wow.
You also
okay.
turn a small rock jutting out of the wall and the passage appears.
I thought he punched it. The snowcraft is in here.
Oh my. Why does he keep the snowcraft in here?
So the Empire can't find it?
Oh, okay, fair, good point.
I love the sexy Elliot emote.
It has gotten a lot of use lately for a variety of people for different reasons, but I'm quite a fan of. Look. I'm not going to say that it's not an ego trip to have that become in relative common use. Speaking of emotes, by the way, though, we added the gay bulge emote to the Discord. So if you guys want to ever yell about each other's gay bulges,
hold on, I gotta go see this.
I think the command is gay gay _ bulge. I would say though, if anyone here likes fantasy, I would definitely. Here's the thing: even if you weren't able to get into Game of Thrones for whatever reason, I would highly recommend you check out House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon is hugely different to Game of Thrones. Like it's an essay on character work almost as much.
I would say not even like it really is like in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Man, Gaebolg. Look, I know Gaebolg. We all know that it sounds like Gaebolg, but let's also not forget that it got, as I like to bring up, it got shoved up a guy's butt in what was a clear metaphor for the sodomy. I don't know why I used that word, but it's what came to mind.
I mean, it's applicable.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I'm not saying gay bulg on so many ways, from so many perspectives, is representative of saying, gay bulg is gay bulge, but like,
yeah. I thought this was gonna be. Oh, okay, that heals them. I thought this was gonna be a snowmobile. It's a boat. It's a boat. Why?
I mean, like, you've seen Avatar,
right?
I mean, you know where the sandbenders go.
Yeah, the
like,
sand ships are what came to mind immediately, I guess.
I'm just glad it's not a sled.
The sled was just Joseph pulling it.
No, we're just the Huskies, and he's just like, mush!
No, I think Bean could pull this with just us, with all the rest of us on it.
I'm not going to say the thing that came to mind with that. So 2 established empires are bad, trend in Final Fantasy, good to know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, this was the 80s. This was the age of Star Wars.
They're fucking riffing, they're riffing off Star Wars.
Yeah. Like I said, this game is Star Wars. And so is, I don't know, but Bean, something pulling us off.
No. I wonder how Bean feels about being on all fours.
Chocobo
snow sled, I need it. Oh, that'd be good. Ooh, that'd be a great mount.
That would be a good mount. I like how when you level up Joseph's weapons, it's just Joseph's hands leveled up. Catch these hands, bitch.
Literally, a bunch of people's strategy for this game is just to unequip all weapons and make everyone a monk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, Bean and Demins are going ham.
I see. Look, who's surprised about that by Demins?
No. Well, yeah, Demins is just playing the character. Look,
Yeah.
I paid $10 whole to get a gay bulge made just because of the bullshit that went on in the chat around that. So you're an expensive date, Demins. $10 whole. I could say something, but I'll be nice because it's not Sunday. Well, but okay, but to be fair, sloppy Sundays have been, I've been actually having to take off Sundays for a while.
Well, I can confirm that last time I was on the Sunday was very sloppy. Man, I drank a lot of beer that day.
That was a funny day. Honestly, my internal monologue that entire time was, oh god, there's no way this is entertaining. But apparently everyone seemed to have a good time.
I'm glad that you all had a good time. I was
Look,
yeah.
it ended with you snoring.
Yes, it did.
And it was beautiful.
But I somehow ended up in my bed, so
Really? Oh, there you go.
yeah.
I love the idea that you brought the mic with you. That
That's that's implausible, but unless I got on my phone, no, probably not.
Not just $10, $10 whole. I know Remy, right? That's right. I'm a classy bitch. At least $10 per McDonald's date, dude. Depends. Someone could take me on a McDonald's date, and I would be happy with that because that's the kind of bitch I am. So I get it. All I'm saying is I'm low to the ground for a reason.
Oh, okay, Jelly. Well, my Lalafell has a habit of standing on boxes to get pretty high up, so I guess that wouldn't work. Then again, that's usually crotch height, so crotch height were Rogadin at least.
Sloppy! Beautiful jelly bean. Beautiful.
Do I have any water? Let's check. Let's check if Niniri has any water. Let's
Not
check
even Wendy's? Remy, I would prefer Wendy's. However, currently from this stream, I have $5, so it's not enough to get a Wendy's meal, sadly.
Wendy's.
So
What's the difference between Wendy's and McDonald's?
everything?
Oh, okay.
What? Okay, this is a terrible comparison, but what's the difference between like a maki roll, right?
Yeah.
And nigiri, right?
Okay.
Right? Same thing, completely different.
I much prefer nigiri.
Oh, I'm totally with you. Nigiri is way better than maki, but a good roll is still a good roll. Like it's inferior, but it's still good.
Yeah. I find nigiri to be the optimal form of sushi, and then sashimi to be
Agreed.
a good thing of its own.
I would take a roll over sashimi. Without the rice, the balance is off for me.
See, you have to get really expensive sashimi.
That's fair. Well, yeah, but look, I'm not have enough to afford Wendy's, let alone expensive sashimi. K-Far, good to see you. Glad to have you. Wota?
If
oh,
you
water.
Yeah, water. If you ever, that's how they say it in a certain part of the US, like water. They made a big joke about that on Mindhunters. Oh no, it was on the Ted Kaczynski thing. Manhunt
Jelly is the noon of the Graharum. Like that actually, that's just canon, and I will not hear otherwise. Quality square patties, but they're greasy too. Yeah, Wendy's does have the $5 biggie bag though. Yeah, but I don't have enough. $5 with tax.
Oh my god,
also,
the way that you have to pay tax on top of like.
Don't get me fucking started, Niniri.
That shit mystifies me. I swear to God.
It mystifies us.
That system
all of us
is
don't
so
like.
Bizarre.
It's stupid. It's bad. It's wrong.
Why wouldn't it be added up before you get to the till?
For a variety of reasons that mostly benefit state tax laws and a whole number of other things.
Oh, it's so stupid though.
It is. It absolutely is. Sorry, Niniri. What?
Oh, sorry, go.
sorry, Niniri. As white mage, you gotta wait till level 90 to get water.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking for a water casting class for a long time.
Geomancer.
Yeah, like Geomancer or Green Maid, which is my hopeless quest. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I would just never be able to do groceries. I'd have to have a calculator.
No, you just don't do it. You just assume whatever you're gonna pay that plus about 10 or 15% more.
Okay.
And you just make sure you have
interesting.
roughly that much money. Like you don't know how much you're gonna pay exactly. Like you're not going there thinking I'm gonna pay exactly this. You're thinking there like, okay, I know I'm within this budget.
Oh.
Joseph, no!
Oh, he is way under leveled compared to everyone else.
Honestly, part of me I might just leave him.
You might just, yeah, that might be.
We're
fair.
gonna lose him anyways.
Yeah.
More XP for us.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Something about. I was got so distracted by my dear German friend dying. Yeah. Like, oh no, that stresses me out. The whole concept stresses me out.
It stresses us out too. You're not alone.
Okay.
We may live here. Does not.
No,
It
I
doesn't
know.
get any easier.
I'm not doing the whole like, oh, Americans live in America. How stupid. I'm not doing that.
To be fair, this one is one where you could. This one is where I will actively support. Like that is the most ass backwards. Why the fuck is it like this? It doesn't need to be like this. Like, look, even Imperial has some benefits. There are defendable reasons why Imperial system like has some benefits. I think Metric's better. Don't get me wrong and stuff. But like saying like, oh, Imperial is like so ass backwards. Well, that's like that's horseshit. But with the tax thing, that is just horseshit. There's no reason it has to be that way. That isn't just being intentionally obfuscating and confusing. You think that's bad? Let me tell you about the IRS, my friend. Let me tell you about how literally all the information about the accurate amount of taxes that you're supposed to pay is literally within the federal government's ability to tell you, and they just don't.
See, in the UK, it just automatically gets taken out of your budget. In Singapore, you do have to pay it, but they tell you how much to pay, and you just press the button that says "Okay, pay."
It's almost like taxes as a system don't have to be as awful, horrible, and nightmarish, and then thus causing a entire population of entire country to hate them with such a vehemency they hate paying them, and therefore don't want to necessarily put funds into public systems, thus further solidifying a hatred towards any form of socialistic system within that system, and it drives everybody who's trying to want to live together in somewhat peace and harmony and benefit their fellow man and the people that are not just themselves left in a situation where they can't really do much because everyone else is justified in hating the system at hand!
Period.
Exclamation point, comma.
I completely so my introduction to that was TV shows, right? American TV shows, and stuff like The Simpsons, where Homer has to like dash to get his taxes ready and throw them in. Like that was really foreign to me. I was looking at that and I was like, "What? You have to do that?" I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't even know if you had to do that in the UK, but. Soria says the stream is choppy, but that could just be.
No, I'm seeing it bounce. Give me a second. I have a suspicion. I think I know what it is.
Okay. So, while Elio is chopping the choppiness, student loans being, I just aren't paying mine because they're in, my student loans are in the UK and I'm in Singapore, so I just don't pay them. But if I do, they don't, I don't have to pay them back, they just detract a little bit. Once I earn over a certain amount, they would just detract a bit from my paycheck automatically. So and they can't chase you for them. They can't like bully you or loan shark you or whatever for your loans because it's all run by the government and they just leave you alone. Intuit. What the hell is Intuit?
Oh, it's a thing for America. It's a stupid thing.
Okay.
Intuit spends a lot of money to stay in business, you know. Yeah. The stream should clear up in a little bit now. It's fixing. I don't know why Chrome was all of a sudden draining it. We'll give it a couple seconds. Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Jubilant, good to see you. Glad to have you. I'm gonna take a minute here to let the chat heal up. You guys let me know when it starts going back to normal.
Let me give my dogs a cuddle.
That's a good idea.
Oh, have you played what's it called? Disco Elysium yet?
Okay. I want to talk about it. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. I bet you the stream should be relatively back to normal now.
Okay, nice.
Let me catch up on everyone real quick, and then we'll. I wonder if that caught up. I wonder if that choppied my like whole rant. I hope not, because that rant was pretty good. Let's talk about student loans too. Oh, don't get me started about student loans. Choppy for me. Remember how for the longest time the IRS couldn't make their own tax filing tool because the courts ruled it would hurt into its bottom line too much? Yep. Good times. Good times. Yep. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Best description of capitalism I heard: it's more profitable to create problems and sell half-assed fixes than it is to make systems with little to no problems. So Blizzard's handling of WoW. Yeah. I mean, but that's in general. Well, I won't get on that whole bandwagon. But so Disco Elysium.
Yeah, have you played it?
Oh yes. So I a couple weeks ago when I was still in the midst of really, really bad depression, I let myself buy a game for the Switch, and I was like, the first time Disco Elysium came out, I was like, I know this is a game for me. I didn't look up anything, I didn't know anything about it, but then I bought it and I sat down and I played it through in one whole sitting on the Switch. And I played the director's cut, the final cut, so with the voice acting and stuff. And holy fuck, is that game phenomenal.
Yeah, I keep getting told to play it.
Oh, you haven't played it?
I haven't.
Oh,
played
Naniri, you really gotta play it.
Okay, but then I won't be able to shut up talking about it on stream.
That's fine. I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about Rivershaw West. I'll talk to you about this wonderful, amazing thing that is this like. Oh yeah, yes. You
and then how apt that it's been fucked over by capitalism.
Yep. It's It's a fascinating. Let's just say that the I mean, here's the thing. I think the thing that gets missed out though, and people being like it being fucked over capitalism, it's like it's not really like a pro-communist or pro it because it's Eastern European, that like legacy and that entire history is intertwined and dealt with like in it as like the in a fantasy world, but it's like also taking the piss. It's not even taking the piss, it's not even right, but it's critical of all the different systems and all of their failings, and it just happens to, instead of pretending like communism never existed, is like has it as a theology and in interesting and intriguing ways as well, and just it's a really incredibly deftly made, complex and nuanced story and world, and you as a game, you're only getting this not just what is, but what feels like this tiny slice of I mean, it basically started out as a world building project, right? Like
right.
So.
And that's the worst part, right? That they've took the rights of this one guy's homegrown world building project away. He's not allowed to play with the world either anymore. That's horrible.
Yep. It's wild. Well, and they're still planning to potentially put out a sequel game and maybe put crypto in it.
I know.
This is like the most. I mean, like, okay, but you have to. Here's what I'll say. It doesn't make it better. But if it's gonna have to be shit, it might as well be max level shit in terms of like the utter level of irony of it all.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh man. Depressing.
Odin and EP on Hyperion.
Odin's
is
up on Hyperion.
Oh, the fate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh no, we came in. This is where we came in from. See Squid Game. Okay. Can I say something that's like
Squid Game's so overrated?
Thank you. Oh, I was about to say that too. Because like the thing is I don't think the Squid Game's that amazing in and of itself.
It's good. It's good, but
it's fine. But like, and can I say something that's really going to miss the whole point of the show?
Okay.
I feel like it needed more games. I feel like it.
Oh, you're better off just watching Alice in Borderland then, right?
Yeah, but like, kind of. That or like rereading Battle Royale.
Ah, so good. Film's
It
really
is
good
so
as well.
good. I actually have never seen a live action film. I was so terrified to be bad.
Whoa, no, it's good. It's a good film.
Oh, thank God. Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, just because like the book is like the manga's so dense and
yeah,
and like the film
It's-
by nature
yeah.
has to be.
yeah, it's nowhere near as dense, but it's good, and
Okay.
it retains the character, I think, pretty well.
Good.
I mean, let me know what you think.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely, yeah. Now a real ass game show on Netflix. Yeah, it's over. I was just talking about how it was a critique of capitalism. Capitalism just absorbed it and used it to do more capitalism. I mean, there's a whole,
right.
there's a lovely. Oh, well, I was just reading something about this. It was just like, I mean, one of the brilliant things about capitalism, right, is its capacity to take that thing which attempts to, counterculture it, subvert it, and commodify it. Like that's like it. Like you can't not look at a system that's. Right, but like you can't not look at a system that has the capacity to do that and be impressed. Like, I'm not saying you have to be happy. Like, no, by all means, but you have to be impressed by that, by the capacity for a system to be self-perpetuating that way, even to its antagonists.
Yeah, fair dues.
I mean, if you're not, then you're like, even if you see like capitalism as your mortal enemy or something, if you choose to ignore that, you do so at your peril.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, definitely. I think we can go up the stairs. I think that area that we emerge out in is a slightly locked off area. So I think actually that some of the doors up there are.
Well, because we just came from. Didn't we just come from that?
No.
The ones on the front.
I think the ones are blocked off. Like I think it leads to a little blocked off area on that floor.
So you're saying go north?
I'm saying go north, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will apologize.
Does not require willing participants. I mean, if no one's consuming the product, it wouldn't work. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
convince people not to consume. Like that's the whole thing in and of itself. It's impressive the same way seeing an elephant rampage through the town causing untold destruction is also impressive. Sure.
Hey, elephants, as we've learned, are very based. Like that one elephant who killed that woman who was abusing it, and then came back and like stopped anyone from taking her body away and just like kicked the villagers.
We came in here. We went into that door up there, and there was nothing in there.
Did we really?
Like, yeah, this is where we came from.
Okay,
Live action battle royale is really cool. Oh, that's good to know, Gemini.
Yeah, I agree, Gemini. It's a good film.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It's. I mean, the problem, right, is you end up in situations where people don't want to buck the system because they're just trying to get by until the point where they're not even able to get by, and then you have revolutions, and then you have like, dude, you have to watch Squid Game. That's news to me.
No, I don't think that's what they're saying too much. But anyway, So on the topic of revolutions, not to change the topic here, but maybe to change the topic.
Go for it.
Nothing annoys me more than the misrepresentation of Marie Antoinette in public consciousness, back in her own life and in modern day. Like when she said "let them eat cake," she didn't say that, but also like she was genuinely passionate about the French people's sufferings. It was her family that weren't, and yet they executed her. So anyway, I'm a Marie Antoinette stan, maybe.
Well, and I think the thing is, you also look to like the fall of the Soviet Union and the way the oligarchs rise from that, right? And the problem is that when you create, if you're not very careful, what happens when you create, hey, going back to Game of Thrones, chaos is a ladder. Creating power vacuums can massively make things worse. Now, that's not to say that sometimes it's not necessary, but like if you do not very careful, making power vacuums allows those with ill intent a lot easier path to rise.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, look at the terrors of France in the wake of the revolution, right?
I think you're right. There must be something in there.
Yeah, I think I am. I usually think I am. I'm only kidding.
I was about to say, doesn't everyone usually think they're right? But then I realized, like, I know people who are like constantly certain they're wrong, and they're like never want to share an opinion.
I used to be like that.
And everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked?
Yeah, something like that. Everything changed when I discovered that I'm a decent writer, and I was like, oh, I actually have a skill. No, a decent psychologist first, and then I'm a decent writer, and I was like, oh, I actually have a skill. Because when I was coming through high school, I did like mediocre or bad and everything, because I didn't bother to try, because, I don't know, disaffected with the system.
Yeah, I relate to that.
So I was like, oh, I literally have no talent. Okay, I mean, that's fine. And then I discovered one, or a few.
I had a talent for being able to get girls to go on dates with me, which was very strange.
I had a talent for hooking up with guys in the school bathrooms.
That is a talent and a skill.
It is. It's true.
I mean, this is...
Oh, this...
Oh, Naneri! Naneri, my friend! Naneri.
Yes?
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. I was considering that. I was thinking, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm also not sure there's a great deal to talk about in Snow Cavern. So we will have to do this, right?
What floor are we trying to go to?
We're trying to get to floor. Good ass question. B5, no, B6.
Okay, so we didn't want to go down, so me going down was smart.
Yeah.
If you guys would like to hear more about Ninire's exploits of hooking up with other men in bathrooms, feel free to donate $2.
I'll give you a hookup story every time that you donate $2 with the caption Niniri sin. I don't know.
Joseph loves eating snow. Joseph is a dragoon confirmed.
That's a pretty good image. Just the image of us walking along, just as crawling along, eating snow the whole time. Yeah, I love eating the snow. Now he's Swedish. Okay. He ate so much snow that he became Swedish.
Sorry, I'm just responding to a message of great importance.
Okay, no worries. I'll judge you forever for it.
Look, if you're gonna judge me for that, I have to question why you haven't judged me for so much more. Oh, hey! Niniri! Time for a story.
Okay,
thank you, Jubilant.
Okay, so when I was in the UK for my masters, when I went back to the UK for my masters, I hooked up with this guy on Grindr. No, I didn't. He wasn't a friend.
I was wondering if you used Grindr. Okay, that answers my question.
This one wasn't actually off Grindr. I'm realizing now. He was a guy that I hooked up with in high school. He was a year above me in high school. He's like a mechanic now. So anyway, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll meet you. Like, you can pick me up and like we'll go like to like a lovers lane spot. It's not a great term for it, but whatever you want to say.
You work with what you got when you got it.
Right, exactly. So like he pulls up in this roofless like old army truck. There's like World War II era, and I'm like, fuck, and it's pitch black. I've done this for some reason at midnight. And we like drive, and this guy's ostensibly straight, right? He's closeted, and I'm like, shit. But I go along anyway because I have a very poor instincts, as they say. So we go down this lane. It's pitch black country lane in like the middle of nowhere, and like we pull into the side, and I'm like, am I about to die? It's possible I'm about to die, but I didn't die, and I hooked up, and then I did it again the next week.
Your preservation instincts are wild.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder: is this because of the desperate desire to hook up, or just an utter disregard for your own safety?
It could be the latter. It could be the former. It could be a bit of both.
Oh my god, Niniri, I'm so glad you did not die. Yes, I am also very glad you did not die.
Thank you, Jubilante. Thank you.
Every time I try or make fun of German accents, there's a good chance I'll slip into Swedish. Yep.
Oh man, Swedish accents are fun to make fun of, though.
Every time you do yours with Joseph, all I can think of is the Team 4-star rendition of the blue and red Oni's voices.
Oh. Oh god, you know what that just brought into my mind? You remember how big a cultural impact Auno Oni was back in the day?
Yes.
Man, that game was big. RPG Maker was fucking huge back in the day.
Yeah, actually, I got RPG Maker, and it was like, I learned some Ruby in order to be able to use that and stuff.
Oh yeah? How'd you find it?
Yeah. Well, I think it was one of those things where like I never found a project that I like ended up sticking with or anything, but it was like spending time in it on the back end, even at a young age, it's just really useful to understanding how games are made. And
yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, like, and there's also like there's a lot of cross applicability. I mean, especially these days, right? When you think about like how people use Unity or Unreal to still make like 2D games or stuff, you know, 2D or 3D. But like, really thinking about the difference between how on a fundamental level like an XY game is made and is functioning behind the scenes versus like how an XYZ game is functioning behind the scenes.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, very, very fascinating. And just having the power to also be able to like create something and like, you know, then create an executable and like play it for, even if it's nothing, it's still like just doing that is very, very cool.
Elio made T RPG Maker game win.
That would be cute. That would be really funny. Just make like if we could get like a pixel artist and we like make like a little like April Fool's like T RPG.
I've been picking up art, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got Asyntic tablet.
Oh, nice. One of my partners has one of those.
Yeah, and I've been trying it out a bit. Yeah, Bean is every boss. Bean is every
It's
boss.
just
That's a good
Bean, but
idea.
it's every boss is Bean, but as a different one of the different poster jobs from 14. So like when you first fight her, she's a warrior, and just like
Yes.
keeps going and going.
Perfect. Or maybe every different, because we're going to be naming a character Bean in every game. Maybe
Right.
a different one for every
It's a different
game.
incarnation.
like Black Mage, then Guy is the Bean.
Yeah. Oh my god. So you get to like the Final Fantasy X one, and you're just like fighting Eorzean, but it's named Bean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you can only name summons, right? Or maybe maybe we name the summoner in 3 Bean, and then that can summon Bean in the fight.
Bean summoned Bean.
Yeah. I think we got an axe. Oh, battle axe after that, but I think Bean already
We
has
did.
a
I
battle
forgot to equip it.
axe. Joseph.
Joseph, you ain't need no healing. He's dead.
True. He's just a guy, right?
He's just a dude.
Oh, how do we feel about the Mario trailer?
I'm actually with people on the annoyance of like Chris Pratt's just a dude doing Mario.
Yeah.
Hey, the beavers.
Beavers. Yeah, I don't like Chris Pratt, but I actually think it looks
Otherwise-
really good.
Yeah. Other than that, I was very open and very positive on it.
Can I do this?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Snook, chit.
Bean wonga wonga bean speak beaver.
Snook, chit.
Secret passage in wall to right. Monster guard bell. Bell in wall.
Snook, chit.
Oh, it's just the same line. Goes the same line.
It was, yeah. Oh, I could have liked Jack Black as Bowser.
I thought he did a good one.
Yeah, I've always seen, Bowser's always been goofy to me. Like,
Yeah.
that's always been the characterization I've seen for him. It's really goofy.
I also think that there was enough of an effect on his affect, not just like
Yeah.
effects, but affect of his voice that like it was like, yeah, I'm not thrown off by that.
I like Jack Black as well. I just generally like Chris Pratt. I don't come from a position of particularly liking him, so he has to go work further to make up for it.
I mean, but like Jack Black is kind of like a kind of baseline of if someone doesn't like Jack Black, like I'm not saying they're a bad
something
person.
weird,
I'm
yeah.
not saying, but like that should be a yellow flag or like oh okay let's like, and I'm not saying you have to love Jack Black. I'm just saying if you actively don't like, if you're like, oh, I hate Jack Black. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I just feel really bad for Charles Martinet, to be honest.
Yeah. Jack Black doesn't really fit Bowser. I can deal with Jack Black as Bowser. I'm very upset with Chris Pratt as Mario. He's just a dude, yeah, instead of offensively Italian. Who's slandering Jack Black? No one's slandering Jack Black. I'm just pointing that, like, don't... If someone doesn't like Jack Black, it's like, again, it's not to be like, oh, you're a monster. It's just like, okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, to me too, Scarlett. That's
Wait,
gonna
they
be
are? He is? Oh, that's going to be great.
Oh, you technically have $7 off this stream now, Elio. You can buy some Wendy's.
I can get Wendy's! I've done enough push-ups today, I can get Wendy's. Neri, thank you for telling the stream about how you hooked up with other boys so that I could get
I will
Wendy's
do.
meal.
I remain at my post with hookup
I do-
stories.
I do want to keep track of how much money we raise from stories about you hooking up and getting drunk.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll save those stories then. I'll save drunk and hookup stories for for donations then. In part, I'm not going to be able to resist the allure of the self-disclosure.
I get the sensation that there is a much larger well of them than we might suspect.
That's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Tell us more about how you hooked up with dudes and putting yourself in horror movie intro scenes and doing so.
Well, technically, isn't every hookup the intro to It Follows? Oh, I love It Follows. That film is good.
Oh, that's a great movie. That is a great movie. It's like a great concept. Very simple concept, but a great concept. Well executed.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Which I guess, like, not all, but like a lot of good horror comes from a really good simple idea that's in and of itself good and then well executed on, so.
That's true. Yeah, you are right. I think a lot of good horror, not all good horror.
No,
like,
not
you know,
all.
I guess like the A23 horror movies, like Midsummer, Hereditary, that kind of more complex.
Yeah,
concepts, right?
A24, right?
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Ari
A24,
Aster movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, and also in that same vein, like Michael Flanagan movies, like and shows, like he did Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. To anyone, if you haven't watched any of those shows, I cannot recommend the entirety of Mike Flanagan's backlog.
Especially Hill House.
I especially hate Hill House. Hill House hits the hardest for me in my background. I really having watched it relatively recently, I cannot like
that one scene in the car. I very nearly shit myself in real life. And
part of the reason that scene in the car hits as hard as it does is because it's one of the few jump scares in the entire show, and it saves it for the goddamn like back half of the third third quarter. It's like out of it is does none of that until that one moment, and then it doesn't really do anything like that again. So it's like Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
But just also like the utter tragedy. I won't spoil anything, but just like the utter character tragedies at the heart of it are just so heartbreaking.
But I mean, both of them. What's it? Hill House and
Midnight
what's the
Mass,
other one?
Or Bly Manor.
No, Bly Manor as well.
Yeah,
like, hugely I haven't watched Midnight Mass, but
it's just as good.
Okay. That's it. Adamanto is guarding the bell. Stay on your toes. That's my Adamanto's voice. Oh, it's not even big.
Nope. That's what he said?
Okay, fair dues. Apparently, the only thing that does anything to this is cold magic.
I wasn't expecting my knowledge of turtle weaknesses to come in as much handy.
Yeah,
as it
wow,
has,
right? Somehow, turtles seem to have a universal system of weaknesses in this game, which is interesting.
Stop bullying Gamera's small son. I still can't stop laughing every time I see the goddamn Adamantoise mount in 14 and it just Gameras. It just like whenever you try to fly with it.
I have the Adamantoise mount.
That's some of the best money you can spend with the Gold Saucer.
It is. I agree. I haven't done a huge amount of Gold Saucer, but the man, apparently Shin Ultraman's really good. I haven't seen it, but my partner has, and they say it's really good.
Ooh, I gotta check it out then.
Because I loved Shin Godzilla.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved Shin Godzilla. Did you not like it?
No. I just haven't seen it yet. I was just like, you're the first person who have heard an opinion on it from. So I take that
good.
to heart. There's something set in the wall. It's the Goddess spell. You obtain the Goddess spell. Dude, I will say one of the things that is an unmitigated success for me is I love scale. I think most stories and games and media don't get scale right, and the Adamantoise in 15 is the thing that's like actually feels goddamn enormous, as well as like the summons in general.
Summons
and I
are cool.
love that. Yeah, just like they feel enormous. They feel massive. Like, Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games.
I love.
And that game understood how to make things look and feel big.
Mm-hmm.
If you know.
It's partially about adding a weight to their movement, right?
Yeah, well, and also it's about where you choose to place your camera, right, in your perspective. Like, don't try to make it so it's cinematically making sure everything's in perfect view all the time and you're pulled way the back out. You need to be like, a great shot. Speaking of Godzilla, whether you hate or love the movie, I'm forgetting Rogue One director, but the 2014 Godzilla film. Whenever they do handheld cam shots with Godzilla and stuff, like you can't really get a full sense for it. That makes him feel so much grander and greater than like if it's just like a cinematic shot.
Yeah, you should definitely watch Shin Godzilla. Did you see that they tried to make? Apparently, they've made Eva part of that universe. You know the Eva films, the remake Eva films, because they're called Shin Evangelion in Japan. And they but it's not like Tokyo doesn't exist in that universe. It's been destroyed. Like it's not the same universe.
That doesn't work. My favorite thing that Godzilla's ever do to try and include it is made when they took the 1998 Matthew Broderick film. Like, no, that's not Godzilla. That was Zilla. And like they make a whole canon explaining why the 98 film is totally canon, but also it wasn't actually Godzilla.
Yeah, they do that right they do that with these modern films, and I'm like, okay, look at the source material. You act like the Tohoku films care about that at the TV shows. They will just throw everything together with no explanation.
Aye, curses ye captain of goddess spell. First you ruined my standing with the Emperor, and now this. The Emperor will never forgive me for this messing this up. If you ever go back to the Empire, he'll have my head, but I'm still a soldier. I'm gonna die, and you're coming with me!
I like his hat.
Oh, that's your one takeaway.
He's not even like this guy. This guy was working for our side. He's like a nice. He was. Everyone thought he was nice. This guy looks like Peter Griffin if he was evil.
I feel like you just said something redundant, but also I agree.
Well, okay, no point. Oh,
Jesus Christ!
I guess that's the point, right? He's supposed to be kind of weak.
It
And
was
inept.
Zilla, and he sucks shit and is evil. Here's actual Godzilla kicking the shit out of him. Yeah, exactly, Scarlet. And I find that hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that.
Wait, did I just like walk up the wall to avoid
Yeah.
that? Like, how did?
Hey, I may have lost, but I don't think you've won. I've booby-trapped this cave. Just a little parting gift from me to you.
Okay, we're on the walls again.
I'll be waiting for you in hell.
Wow. Okay, so you know that he's literally going to be a boss in hell, right?
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Oh. I wonder what
Actually,
film they watched before this.
I wonder what year Temple of Doom came out, or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Does that
Oh,
mean?
you-
Oh. Go on, get out!
We not leave you.
I can't hold it much longer. Run! It's not made of snow. I can't eat myself out of this one. It's up to you now, Elio. My sweet Nelly. It's all gone big
I
to
love you.
French.
I was about to say, I love how you're getting slowly more French.
Oh,
As he's
wow.
be-
That's kind of visceral, right?
Yosef!
Okay.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Do you think, you know how sprites disappear like that? Do you think that inspired the way in which people in 14 disappear into the Aether?
Yeah. Well, no,
Definitely
that
feels like.
that's so yes. Yes, but it did so specifically via Aerith, right?
Doesn't Cloud,
Doesn't
though, let her body... No, because her body doesn't disappear, because he lets her
Does
body
she not
float down
disappear?
into... Remember, he holds her body in the water.
Yeah, and then she disappears.
Does she? Someone...
Am I
man.
wrong? Okay,
Hold
okay,
up,
maybe
yeah.
I'm wrong.
No, I need to know. Please don't let there be porn. Please don't let there be... Okay, cool, we're good. Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII. And the one thing that, like, the internet was obsessed with spoiling for forever. Oh my god, what the fuck did I just type? Yeah, so Cloud's still holding her.
Maybe I'm
Materia
wrong.
drops. Do you know if
In that case, what am I thinking about?
I don't know, what are you thinking? Her body's still there. He holds her, takes her body, drops it into the water. She floats down. Yeah, that. Okay, cool. No, I was right.
Am I specifically thinking about the sending, maybe?
I mean,
Little-
yeah, Pyreflies is a huge thing in 10. Like, I mean, people disappearing like that.
Yeah,
I
maybe
always
I'm
love-
thinking of the Fireflies.
I fucking love the idea of Fireflies, and like, not that I'm like raring for them to like bring them back in any way, but it is weird how like interesting how singular that concept was in some ways. Like I feel like the life stream, the ethereal sea in a lot of ways is like a combination of all the concepts of like the life stream, Fireflies, like the way that Aether works in 14 is a confluence of all those, but like the Fireflies is a specific idea I feel like has never really been was ever done.
Well,
elsewhere.
Elio, let's not forget, Fireflies in the live stream are the same thing. It's the same universe, Elio. Jeez.
Yeah, just like Tactics and Final Fantasy 12 are the same universe. Totally, Naniri. Mm-hmm. Definitely the same.
And how Nier and 14 are the same universe.
I don't even want to look. Figuring out Nier's whole bullshit is already Kingdom Hearts levels of nonsense. Trying to figure out how that then like ties into 14, I'm just not even giving it the time of day.
Yeah. Oh man.
That is one where I'm like, no, I'm not gonna spend time thinking about this. Do I love Nier? Yes. Do I love 14? Dearly. Am I gonna think about this? You bet your ass I'm not.
I think Yoko Taro might be too much of an author even for me.
I think that's understandable. I think that's a deeply understandable take.
And David Lynch is like my favorite director, so like.
I mean, but to be fair though, Kojima is too much of an auteur for me sometimes. So I feel like part of it's also just which auteur you're like willing to deal with.
Yeah,
their
that's
nonsense.
true because I'm a big Kojima fan.
Right. Love Final Wars. Joseph's done eating snow. Now he's eating rock to the point where there's a certain site named after it. Yeah. I think Yoko Taro is an absolute maddest lad. That is true. Like there's no arguing that.
I really feel like Aerith's death is like so foundational in video games. Like,
oh yeah, I mean effectively that I can think of is the video game spoiler.
Right, it is. It's 100% the video game spoiler. And if you ask like someone who was playing games at that time, like what the most memorable experience story-wise, like a fair few of them will say Aerith's death if they played that game.
Especially, and it, like you say, especially at that time.
Yeah, it was huge for its time. You know, like characters die nowadays, by all means, but.
Well, and also the general quality of story writing has gone up drastically. In the intervening like 30 years, or 20, well, approaching 30 years, 25 years. Hey guys, it's been 25 years since FF7 came out.
Wow. That is disgusting.
My favorite thing, I was writing thing. I don't know. I don't think it's come out. No, it hasn't come out yet. But there's a video that's gonna come out that has this line for me that basically is talking about modern Final Fantasy, and then I turn to camera and I'm like, no, I'm not talking about Final Fantasy 13. In case you've forgotten, that was over 14 years ago.
Right.
I refuse to acknowledge the PlayStation as a retro console. Dude, the PlayStation 3 is a retro console.
Right.
The PlayStation 3 is a retro console.
Right.
We're like, motherfucker. You can't make me. I absolutely assure you that I can. Don't give the eBay scalpers power.
Oh my God.
I own all those consoles, so I'm good.
Yeah, but vintage games are getting like I was gonna try and buy an original Pokemon Ruby.
Yeah. Pokemon's always been bad. Pokemon has always been bad though. Like Ruby's been going for more than market price since 2 years after Ruby released.
Ruby,
so like
the Pokemon company has exactly zero excuse for not releasing emulated versions of those games.
Well, I mean, their justification would be go play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
That's dumb. I don't want to.
I'm just saying that there are arguable stances.
I don't support
like them
this.
Or not.
I don't consider that to be arguable. They're different games.
The PlayStation they can go to PlayStation 69 and 90s will forever be 10 years ago to me.
Look, I'll say that stance works for Fire Red and Leaf Green and Red and Blue because it's a straight remake almost. But Fire Red and Leaf Green is also hugely expensive.
Well, but they also play they like Let's Go Eevee and stuff.
Okay, those are whole different games.
I agree, but my point is like, why should they give a shit about the aftermarket? Like, what possible incentive do they give it? Where are we supposed to be going? Are we talking to Nelly?
Yeah, probably.
They're supposed to do it for you. Their incentive is to make you happy.
Exactly. I'm very important.
Talk to Nelly, I assume?
Yeah, you don't have to, but yes. That's Joseph's side piece, I guess. Okay, we're gonna get to Kashwan.
Daddy isn't coming back, is he?
Oh God, I just had flashbacks to the Mace Hughes funeral scene.
Oh, no. Oh, dude, God.
Oh, I love
Talk about
FMA so
character
much.
deaths. FMA is so good. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are also. I was about to mention about that. Also, can we just like. Look, I know there are obvious reasons that they can't make the like Pokemon game that is let us make all the regions stuff, but like having 2 regions in one game was such a. There's a reason that like the reason that Silver and Gold are some of my favorite are not just because like nostalgia. Don't get me wrong, that's a part of it. But like also a big part of it is just like the fact that like yes, you finished the game. Now here's the second half.
Yeah. So we go to Basque, and then Kashwan is southeast of Basque.
Basque is which direction again?
Good question.
Oh, right. It's to the right. No, it's to the east and south.
Yeah.
Crystal's
No,
my favorite. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard a single other person say Crystal's their favorite Pokemon game.
So like Silver's mine, but like Crystal effectively just better Silver. But like, so Crystal, I guess Soul Silver is probably my favorite, but that's a big part of that's nostalgia. In terms of like
Are we talking favorite Pokemon game in general?
Yeah.
Wow, you like the old JoJo games? Interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's talking about like appeal, not me thinking the best one.
Okay.
Yeah. Like to be very clear, I think there's no question that the best one has to be 4th gen or later because the special physical split is just too important.
Okay.
The nonsense of like stats and even in like I adore like Sapphire is also one of my favorites, but again, the special physical split is far too important to my enjoyment of the combat of those games to not have that be a relevant point of topic.
If I'm saying what like sort of is interesting to me in nostalgia, probably Hoenn, maybe Sinnoh, maybe Platinum.
Well, that also makes sense though. You being 2 years younger than me, right? Like that,
Right.
Just that.
And then in terms of my actual favorite, it's got to be Black and White or Black and White 2.
Here's the funny thing. I really appreciate Black and White. I totally see every argument people put about them, and I don't disagree with them. I don't have a huge affinity for Black and White. I don't know why. I think they're great, and like no caveat, no question. Like, but I never like got like really into like I never had like the connection to Black and White that I had to Gen 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Okay, interesting.
And I think they're phenomenal. I think there's incredibly justifiable arguments to be like they're the one of, if not the best. But I just don't have the emotional attachment or any nostalgia or anything for it.
That's fair, though.
But I do for 6. I do for Gen 6. Like that's the thing. It wasn't just like it ended. It's just Gen 5.
Gen 6 is Kalos, right?
Yes.
See, I consider Kalos to be my least favorite Pokemon game.
See, I was at a place in my life where I got to be really hyped for Kalos and had a really great experience around it. And it was the first time I got to play a Pokemon game with a bunch of other friends rather than a solo experience, thanks to like the 3DS and stuff. So for me, Kalos,
I like Kalos. I like the Kalos
games.
There isn't a mainline Pokemon game I don't like, but
yeah.
Kalos is probably the least favorite out of the mainline. I'm a big fan of Pokemon Coliseum as well.
Oh fuck yeah, of course. Where are we going? From Basque?
So,
where are we going?
From Basque, we're going southeast.
Okay,
we can also
here's what
use Sid's airship.
I'll just go south. I'll walk south.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say. I don't like Black and White 2 because I don't like that they started going Digimon. Like with the fusions and stuff. Black and White 2.
What?
Black and White 2.
Oh, you mean with Kyurem?
Yeah, and just like that was the start of like some of the nonsense that I was just like, okay, maybe not so much. Like, and the legacy that led to Z moves and stuff. I'm actually okay with Mega Evolutions. My one problem with Mega Evolutions is that they didn't commit to it. Like
I wouldn't say that I'd say that Kalos is where that legacy started.
I feel like it. To me, that starting to do the fusions and stuff like is the like.
But that's like such a small part of Black and White, right?
But it's like they're the banner Pokemon. It's a major part of the story and the fundamental premise of like.
I always feel like the legendary Pokemon aren't even a major part of the story in Black and White. Like N's story is like and they're involved in that, no doubt. But like, that's my take. Is the N story. But then again, maybe that's filtered through a fandom lens. I don't know.
I get that take, and I don't even fully disagree. I think I would say that
It's
they
that,
are
it's-
enough, that they matter enough that I would still constitute them as like mattering. I mean, especially if you think about how much that they're actually a part of the actual narrative in contrast to something like Lugia or Ho-Oh, which, you know, are
Yeah, they're
optional,
pretty much
don't even-
not, right? Or the legendary birds in Kanto. That little pass into the mountains up north, just back where we were, is
Oh,
where
you
we
can
get
just skip through in there.
I think so. It looks right to me. It looks like you can walk through there.
Well, if I can't, we'll find out.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
No, I
my
did
little
not
brother had
play Fable.
my little brother asked me what my MySpace was. He later asked if my Game Boy Advance copy of Gold was a relic. You guys ever play Fable games? Yes, I have. I played all 3. I didn't play a ton of 3, but I have played all 3, and I've beaten 1 and 2 to completion. I played the crap out of them way back then.
I've never owned an Xbox.
I don't know that I owned an Xbox 360, but I didn't own an Xbox. But
Wait, but Fable's
made-
Xbox exclusive, right?
yes, but I made friends.
Okay.
Just enough to play video games because I didn't have a lot of money or like for consoles or anything.
Yeah, same.
So a lot of growing up was playing consoles at other people's houses. My favorite Pokemon game in general is Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team. Dude, Mystery Dungeon Blue is a fire game.
It is
like
good.
that is
Really
a
good.
great game. Those games are way better and have way more going on and way more story and like extra content to them than they have any right to. Like the amount of times I was playing Mystery Dungeon Blue as a kid and being like, here's the end, and then there another thing unlocked. And I was like, okay, so here's the end, and another arc unlocked.
Are we
It's just like,
supposed to be?
well, they just talk about for us. We can just pick them up and we can run around now.
Yeah, true.
Is this where are we going?
Yeah, this is
Let's-
Clash Run. I don't think we can enter it on the Chocobo. Oh man,
Yeah,
the
we
Chocobo theme, what a classic. What a true and enduring classic of... How do we
It is.
dismount?
You just press enter. I was
Okay.
just thinking. So it's
Yeah.
a dungeon we have to go through?
No, maybe. We just
Is
have
this
the
one?
bell to ring and unlock it, right?
Oh.
But it's also a dungeon, okay. Yeah, Dimins, you're right. Molyneux never made a game without overhyping it before it came out. I mean, look at
yeah.
Spore. A lot of them are still good. Like, Spore is still a good game, but...
I'm incredibly lucky that I literally never ever knew about David Molyneux's hype bullshit until like maybe like 5 or 6 years, to the point where it didn't matter, right? Like all the games that like are, you know, foundational in terms of like Spore, Black and White's him, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Man,
like a lot like
I played the shit out of Spore.
it's a good game. It's a fun
Yeah.
game.
And Black and White as well. The Black and White and Black and White 2. Not the Pokemon games, the
Yeah, Black and White.
Godsend games. Oh my god, I loved those games so much.
Those are good games. You know what I want? Okay, so like I really want a spiritual successor to Dark Cloud because the whole like have you played Dark Cloud?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, basically one of the main things going on in it is there's a system called Georama where like when you go into dungeons and stuff, you're basically getting pieces of the world that's been destroyed, and you get to like put the world back together, but you can put it together in any way you want. So like.
Okay.
You're like building cities as dioramas. Imagine like a dungeon crawler narrative based RPG that also had a Sim City builder.
Like a city builder. Okay.
Yeah. As a thing you did by like part of the progression of going through the dungeon was to come out to build things, and by building things you got stuff that you could bring into the dungeon. Like it just like was a beautiful, perfect cycle. And it was a great idea, and it was a phenomenal game. It's a PlayStation 2 era game. But
Okay. Is it the
didn't
one
sell-
with the Link ripoff that's his PC?
the what?
Link? The guy on the front, Dark Cloud, right?
Oh, yeah, the one with like the kind of I totally follow what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, effectively. There's a sequel called Dark Cloud 2 in America, Dark Chronicle, I think, in Japan and Europe. But I don't like that one as much. Super interesting game, super great game, super game worth like checking out if you're willing to play old PS2 games. A spiritual successor would be great.
Yeah. I
The
don't know
thing
if I am.
about it was made by Level 5. And if you don't know who Level 5 is, they did Layton. So they like made Layton shortly after. And Layton did really well, so they just started only doing Layton stuff.
Okay. And now they just do Layton crossovers with Phoenix Wright.
Basically. But the thing also that's great about it is like Dark Cloud has a phenomenal soundtrack, and the person who did the soundtrack for it went on to do the soundtracks for Layton. So I always thought I always play Layton. I'm like, I really am down with these soundtracks, but I can't figure out why I love them so much. And then I realized, I found out later. I was like, that's it.
Okay. Oh man, I want to play Black and White 2 now.
You know what you could do?
What could I do?
Play Black and White 2.
It's not on stream. It's not on Steam.
Oh, well, emulation.
I could emulate it, but I always get nervous about torrenting things because I have, as we know, very bad instincts. So I always download the bad link and like just on my computer.
Self-preservation's a little bit better on the computer than with your own body.
A little bit, yeah. Unless I actually try and go through with this thing I tell myself not to do.
I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick and then we'll talk to this person. There was two Fable: The Lost Chapters and the Fable 3 was on PC. Yeah, the original NES version of the Chocobo theme is suffering though. I don't even know what that sounds like. I think you combined David Cage and Peter Molyneux there, Elio. Did I? When talking about Black and White, is Black and White not Peter Molyneux? Which you know, fair.
Isn't it?
Oh, we're talking about David Cage with. Isn't David Cage the one who does?
He did Beyond Human.
Yeah, I was about to say he's
Kind of a piece of shit, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, and then no, and like what, like Heavy Rain or Fair.
Oh, and Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, all that. The original NES version, which you know, fair. I played Spore 2, loved to make different critters. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I had a bootleg Link on the cover. The thing is, Toan's not like Toan's bootleg Link. That's totally fair, but Toan's not bootleg Link. Like, play the game. He's totally bootleg Link, but look, he's not. He's not bootleg Link, but he's totally bootleg Link. Look, it's a good game. Check it out. Dark Cloud's awesome. Check it out.
I I just took a look at David Cage's Wikipedia page, and the only line on his personal life section, single line, the only line is Cage is an atheist, and I was like, yeah, I know. You can tell. Which is not saying anything wrong against atheists. I'm also an atheist, but
yeah. No, just it comes across. Actually, you want to do Gordon? Because
I did Gordon, right?
Too, so. Yeah.
Gordon was the guy that I did this kind of emo, right?
Yeah.
I came to retrieve the Sunfire. I thought it was the only one left who could open the door. Link. I'd meant to look for Egel's torch, but it's a total monster's den in here. I can't keep going on my own, and I can't return empty-handed. I'm such a loser. I don't know what to do next. You know your way around the keep, right? Do you think you could help us find our way through? Oh, jeez, a babe. I'm sorry. The keep is riddled with secrets. I wouldn't know my way around any better than you. Didn't you used to live here, though? But I do want to fight. Will you let me come with you? Okay, we didn't
Gordon,
say yes.
join the party. Great value Link. Yeah, you know what, Blinkster? That's a perfect way to put it. Toan is great value Link. I think I'm actually.
Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni's really good.
I am furious. Ni no Kuni makes me furious.
Oh, really?
For one simple reason. And it's that Ni no Kuni 2 is not named Ni no Tuni.
Okay, fair dues. Demins, I think David Cage did do great in mid-2008 YouTube.
I don't know what to do next except write a poetry about the dark spiral of my soul. Ni no Kuni, Dragon Quest 8. I feel like I always ask this every time. Is 8 Curse King?
Yeah, 8's Curse King.
So right? Good. That game's so good.
You need to play 11.
I will. No, I would love to. I will definitely sit down there. Yokai Watch. I've only ever played Yokai Watch in Japanese because I loved it. It was great for practicing my Japanese because it's like playing Pokemon in Japanese.
Yeah.
Where like if they're using kanji at all, which I don't know I don't think they used kanji until. They definitely did it in the Game Boy Color era. I don't know if they did in the Game Boy Advance era, but like it's really good for practicing like reading comprehension in Japanese if you're starting out.
Yokai Watch had old games.
Oh no! I'm talking about it switched over to Pokemon mid.
Okay.
I was talking about, but Yokai Watch. No, I played it on 3DS. I have a Japanese 3DS.
Okay.
All titles beside.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Level 5 works on DQ8.
Yeah.
What?
Apparently. No, because it's like this exact same art style as like Ni no Kuni, right? Like you can see the influence. Well, not the exact same, but you can see the influence of like the Tetsuyama art style on Ni no Kuni and stuff like that. I feel.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and actually, I guess I think about it. The PS2 is like, well, early PS2 is when Dark Cloud came out, and you think about that and how that if Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Chronicle almost carries more into that art style as well, like a proto to
Right.
like
Okay.
so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
We should play
Yeah, Dark Cloud
Quest 11 on stream.
Yeah, I would love to. Dark Cloud, yeah. Oh, Rogue Galaxy, that's one a lot of people love. Interesting. Wait, did they do Dragon Quest 8?
Maybe they ported it.
It didn't say that. Development and release.
It sounds right to me.
Oh, I didn't realize Dragon Quest was the first game in the series to bear the Dragon Quest name. I always wondered why it was like I didn't ever hear about the other ones.
Yeah, they did do it. They did Yeah, I don't think they devved it. Oh no, they devved it alongside Square Enix and Armor Project.
I wonder what work they did on it.
Armor Project is I think Yuji Hori's personal studio.
Yeah. I mean, like, they had a good run. They did Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicle, Dragon Quest 8, Rogue Galaxy, and Gen d'Arc, like, in a row before they went to Layton. And then Layton did Gangbusters, so they said, fuck it.
Gen d'Arc.
Oh, and they did 9. They helped do 9, Dragon Quest 9.
Okay.
Nino Kuni, Professor Layton, Inazuma.
I mean, you're always going to make money on Dragon Quest, right? Japan will always pay you for Dragon Quest, even if no one else does.
That's true. Well, and also, I mean, like, the thing is that despite their population being a smaller percentage, the amount of game players in Japan is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, Japan has a pretty hefty population for its size, right?
Right, relatively. I'm just thinking, like, if you're thinking, like, China as a market, even if only 2% of people are playing games, it's still an enormous amount of people, right? And just thinking,
yeah,
like...
I think we had this conversation unrecorded where we talked about how Korean game developers are, quite satisfied with developing exclusively for Koreans, like NCSoft and stuff like that.
Right. Fantasy Life, Guild 2, Yokai Watch. Did I feel like they did solo? They solo did Yokai Watch, right?
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Because
they've had really a good time. I mean, think about it. Like they did both Layton and Yokai Watch.
Yeah, well, it's the classic story, right? Of like a game dev studio starts out by porting, then starts like co-developing and stuff like that, and then eventually starts developing its own games.
Well, but that's the interesting thing is it doesn't seem like they ever had the porting like state. Because like, look, Dark Cloud's an original IP, Dark Chronicle's an original IP, Dragon Quest they co-helped on it, so like, which I guess makes sense. If Dark Cloud and Dark Chronicle didn't do gangbusters out the gate, okay, they needed a good project to go, but they also had a portfolio, so to be able to help out with 8. They never really had a huge downturn, which is fascinating.
Okay, it seems like the guy who founded it was already a successful developer at River Hill Soft.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know what River Hill Soft is, but they did Prince of Persia, the original.
Like the original? Oh,
yeah, the original.
Oh, dude,
they did Tactics Ogre.
Oh, that would do it. Yeah. Oh god, they're doing Kuni Cross Worlds. I hope they're not spending all their time and energy on that consistently. I hope
they are.
Someone else. Oh, bollocks.
Oh, they did Oddworld.
What? Like Oddworld or like Oddworld Stranger's Wrath or like
Oddworld Abe's Exodus.
What a weird studio. They were the dev for the PS2 version. Yeah. There's also Gen d'Arc, PSP, level 5 made. I didn't know what to do next. I have to write poetry. Since this YouTuber, contractually obligated to say like, share, and subscribe. Okay, one of my partners is upstairs about to start a thing that is going to make our internet tank.
Okay.
So we're gonna call it there for today. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us, and Aniri, thank you for hanging out with me. Not to say, will you have time potentially this Sunday to do recording for?
I should do, yeah.
Okay, because I've been busy. I may be busy again this Sunday, but I love talking to you. I love spending time with you, and the content that we make is either informative and or hilarious.
Right.
If I do say so myself.
I hope so.
To to everybody else, thanks for hanging out. We Thursdays, obviously, we always have these. Fridays, tomorrow's Lore Book Club. If you haven't signed up for Lore Book Club, if you want to sign up for Lore Book Club and you want to start, reading lovely information and stuff and talking about it from Final Fantasy 14, go to join the Discord if you're not a part of it. And if you are, just go to the events button, click on it, and sign up, please. If you're interested. For Saturdays, we have community events. Still got to figure something out. I think we might just do more mount farming because a lot of people need farm. Maybe we'll do Gwibs. Farming Gwibs sounds like fun. Then Sunday I have off. Monday is MSQ replay, and as well as Tuesday. We're about to hit 3.5, as well as I think we're going to do the Warring Triad on Monday. Wednesday is new videos. I believe the next video should be, if I'm not mistaken, Halloween. This is Halloween.
Nice.
All Saints. Yeah. If you're into the stream, I remember Discord. When I come join us, yeah. Thanks for another great stream. Absolutely, Gemini. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Neri, do you have any final words you'd like to say?
Just because I wasn't done talking about Japanese auteurs enough. Suda51, also very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. I don't have anything else to say. Just I hope you all had a good time. I really do.
Okay, I have been Elio Fosharon.
I've been in Neri.
And we will join you all next time.
We
Cheers.
absolutely will. Cheers. Bye.